What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with Dilly Vanilli. He's fresh off, hot off a Dallas Cowboys victory. He saved himself from hanging himself. We are here to discuss Week 15 NFL recap of this week. We don't really usually do these things. Usually we do a Sunday Night Football recap. We want to do a Patriots Steelers recap. But then I come on, I tweet everybody. I'm like, we want to do a recap. Everybody's like, nah, not right now. So we did it after the game instead, after the Cowboys game. And we're just going to discuss the entire weekend, the biggest moments, and the biggest topics. We will probably get a sighting of AC near the end of the video. He has a lot to say in regards to the Seahawks and, of course, the Eagles. We'll discuss the Patriots-Steelers game, the Cowboys-Raiders game. But first off, let's get off to a hot start here with some of the morning action that happened in the NFL. It was pretty boring, let's be honest. There was not many good games. I would say there was probably 2 good games in the entire morning slate. And that was Green Bay, Carolina, which we did a live reactions to. If you haven't checked that out, maybe go scan through that one real quick. Check out some of the big moments. Also, there was Philadelphia versus the Giants. Now, I'll probably go back and watch this game. But I haven't been able to watch a single moment of that game because I was doing a reaction to the Panthers-Green Bay game. So all I can really go off of is the stats and stuff like that. So I might as well wait for that game just for AC to give us his thoughts because he is the Eagles fan. He watched the entire game. He can fill us in. But what I know is that Nick Foles had a day. The Eagles defense struggled. And Eli Manning also had a pretty good game. So that's all I can really say about that. The rest of the games here, Baltimore picked up a victory over Cleveland, much needed just to keep their success going, keep their run going into the playoffs. 27-10 over the Brownies. And Joe Flacco actually attempted 42 passes in this game.
Holy shnikes.
288 yards. That must be a season high because he doesn't pass the ball very much. So 280 yards, a touchdown. Alex Collins, 12 carries, 19 yards. By far his worst game of the season, really. In terms of rushing. Allen, 13 carries, 70 yards. He had a nice day. Receiving-wise, Mike Wallace, 6 catches, 89 yards. Ben Watson, 4 catches, 74 yards and a touchdown. Collins did pick it up in the receiving game, 5 catches, 33 yards. And the boy, Danny Woodhead, 6 catches, 31 yards.
Lighten him up.
Also, defensively, an interception for the man, Brandon Carr. A forced fumble for C.J. Mosley.
I'm sorry.
And on the other side, Kaiser struggled early on with -12 passing yards, but ended up with 146. 2 interceptions on the day. Not a great game for him. Not a great season. Isaiah Crowell, only 5 rushes, but 72 yards. Kaiser, 7 rushes, 35 yards. Duke Johnson, 7, 23 and a touchdown. Josh Gordon, 5 catches, 47 yards. And Duke Johnson, 5 for 40. Baltimore took it 27-10 with touchdowns from Joe Flacco, Ben Watson, and Brandon Williams' 1-yard fumble return into the end zone. Buffalo played Miami today, 24-16 for Buffalo. Started off like Buffalo was going to dominate this game, but the Miami made a game of it in the 4th quarter. Jay Cutler, of course, he has a good game, thus he must have a bad game. The fact of life. 28 for 49, 274 and 3 interceptions. Tyrod Taylor, 17 for 29, 224 and a touchdown. Drake did have another good game, 16 carries, 78 yards and a touchdown. Landry, 10 catches, 99 yards. Parker, 6 catches, 89 yards. And Drake also pitched in with 6 catches for 35, seeming to be an all-around good back and maybe the future for this team in the backfield. McCoy, kind of a quiet day in the rushing department. 20 carries, 50 yards and a touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, 6 carries, 42 yards and a touchdown. But McCoy picked it up in the receiving game, 4 catches, 46 yards and a touchdown. Clay, 5 catches, 68 yards. And defensively, interception for Poyer and White for and also Wright for the Bills. And for the Dolphins, 1 sack from Ndamukong Suh that really the stats say there. Again, I haven't seen many of these games just because we were doing that live reactions. I was keeping pace of it and keeping track what was happening and stuff like that. But overall, I wasn't really watching them. I'll have to go back and watch some of the bigger games. Like I'll definitely go back. I'll probably watch the Eagles game for sure. And I don't really know other ones that was really big in the morning. I guess Buffalo getting a win was big. Baltimore getting a win was big. Jacksonville getting a win. Vikings getting a win. Saints getting a win. All these games were kind of obvious. We all thought these teams would win. We all thought that, they needed to win and they got it done. So it was pretty simple. Washington, Arizona ends up 20-15. This was a tight game all the way through. Redskins take it. Kirk Cousins, 18 for 26, 196 and 2 touchdowns, still leading the way for his team. Gabbert, the Magic Man, not the best day. 16 for 41, 189 yards and an interception. Kerwin Williams, 17 attempts, 61 yards. And Penny, some guy named Penny, 10 attempts, 45 yards.
Guy named Penny. Yeah.
Gabbert, 6 attempts, 28 yards. Fitz, 5 for 60. Other side, Crowder, 5 for 55 and a touchdown. P. Ryan had a bad day, 14 for 37. Bibbs, 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, interception for Preston Smith, a forced fumble for Lehner. Chandler Jones had a sack, who's having a really good year. Forced fumble for Bethea, and that's it. And any other games here? Let's check out Minnesota, Cincinnati. Just going through a quick recap for these games. 34-7 for Minnesota. 20 for 23 for Case Keenum. 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's efficiency right there, Dilly Vanelli.
Yes.
And then Teddy Bridgewater comes in the game. On his first pass, he throws an interception. 0 for 2, interception on the day.
That's sad.
And on the other side, Andy Dalton, 11 for 22, 113 yards and 2 interceptions. A.J. McCarron, 3 for 6, 19 yards. Bernard, 14 attempts, 30 yards and a touchdown. Interesting that McCarron did play in this game. Murray, 20 attempts, 76 yards and a touchdown. When you look at these stat lines, it doesn't seem like the Vikings really dominated. McKinnon, 7 catches, 114 yards. Diggs, 5 for 30 and a touchdown. And Thielen, a quiet game, 3 for 30. A.J. Green, 2 for 30, 2 for 53 for the Bengals. The Vikings dominated this game on defense. 2 sacks for, is it Robinson? I always get his name wrong. Robinson, whatever.
Robinson, yeah.
Hunter, a sack. Interception for Eric Kendricks and an interception for Terrence Newman. 2 sacks for Geno Atkins in this game and a interception for Sean Williams. That's the game for the Vikings. And what else did I miss here? I got all the morning games except for New Orleans and Jacksonville. Okay, let's get to Jacksonville. 45-7 for the Jaguars. Absolutely dominated. Another stellar performance from Blakey Bortles. 21 for 29, 326, 3 TDs. It seems like every week people are putting up 300 on the Texans. Blake Bortles does it again. 10 carries for 69 and a touchdown for Grant. I actually really like him. He had a really good preseason. He doesn't get a lot of play during the regular season, but when he does, he takes it to the house. Ivory, 17 for 42. Blue, 12 for 55. Lamar Miller, 9 for 32 for the other side. Yeldon also had 7 carries for 27 yards for Jaguars. A lot of running the football in this game. Hopkins, 4 for 80. Fuller, 5 for 44. The Texans actually only threw to 4 receivers in this entire game.
Wow.
For the Jaguars, Cole, 7 for 186 and a touchdown. Mickens, 4 catches, 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for the defense, let's check out the Jags defense, shall we? 2 sacks for Calais Campbell, a sack for Fowler, and a sack for Malik Jackson, a fumble for Malik Jackson, and an interception for Barry Church. For Brian Cushing, and that's it for the Texans defense because they're ass. And what else? Last game for the morning, 31-19 for New Orleans in a big win to keep pace and to keep the lead in this division. 26-30 for 36, 2 touchdowns and an interception, and 285 yards for Drew Brees. Bryce Petty, 19 for 39, 179, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Mark Ingram and Kamara split the carries 12-12, 74 yards for Ingram, 44 for Kamara, 2 touchdowns for Ingram. And also 5 catches for 77 yards. Absolute machine. Kamara, 6 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. And Michael Thomas with another good game, 9 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. Powell, 13 for 44 and a touchdown. Forte, 7 for 24. McGuire, 3 for 48 and a touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 5 for 40. Defensively, interception for Lattimore. Robertson, 2 forced fumbles for the Jets defense. Jamal Adams, buster screen. And then Leonard Williams got an interception. The defensive end got an interception. Some games for the morning. We'll get to the Eagles later if AC does come on. And we'll just ask Dilly Vanilli what the biggest headlines from those games are, what you thought about those games, and any comments that you have. And then we'll move on to the afternoon. We'll go through the afternoon, and then we'll go from there.
All right, I'll go through what I see on here on ESPN through games. Dolphins, Bills. Bills put up a good performance. They got a nice victory, a key victory for them, considering some events that happened after in the afternoon games. Keeps them in that playoff spot. They currently have the 6th seed, so definitely needed this one against the Dolphins. Cutler, like you said, I don't think it's possible he can have 2 consecutive really good games. I don't think it's possible. And it was their Super Bowl last week, so they lost there. Packers-Panthers, we recapped that game earlier today, live streamed it, live reactions, all that stuff. Panthers played well. Rodgers struggled, even though he did have 3 touchdowns. He made some pretty bad mistakes, and it cost them the football game. Obviously, Geronimo was the key factor in that fumble, but could have been a more efficient game for him, and the Panthers were able to capitalize and make themselves look stronger going into it. Ravens-Browns. Browns can't get a fucking win. The Ravens, I'm surprised that he threw 42 times against the Browns.
Yeah.
He threw it 36 times against the Steelers. So I wouldn't, that kind of surprised me. Collins had a terrible game, but they pick up the victory. Again, considering the factors that happened later on, they're still the 7th seed, so that helps them out in that department. Texans-Jags. Jags absolutely blew out the Texans. Good win for the Jaguars. All-around key performance. Blake Bortles last 3 weeks has not been the 70th best quarterback in the league. He has been pretty good. So
he's been like the 25th best quarterback.
I will give him the credit when credit is due. He has played very well, and the defense continues to show why they're a threat and possibly the number 2 team in the AFC. Bengals-Vikings. Bengals-Vikings. Vikings crushed the Bengals, absolutely destroyed them, even though it's 34-7. It wasn't even the biggest shutout of the afternoon. This was a huge shutout, or a huge game for the Vikings just to kill somebody. They've got the
there
home.
were 3 disgusting blowouts in this Sunday.
Disgusting.
Like disgusting. 42-7, 34-7, and 45-7 in the same weekend.
That's awesome. But Vikings get it done. Case Keenum looked efficient. Vikings defense looks great, and they've got the bye. I don't think they have home field advantage just yet, but they are close. Jets Saints. Jets kept it pretty close actually until that touchdown run by Mark Ingram basically opened it up for them. But I would not be that scared. I don't think the Saints really took this as much of a challenge, and they still were able to win this game. They got 2 big division rivals in the next 2 games, so those are key.
Who do they play? The Atlanta for sure.
Atlanta and Carolina.
They still play Are you sure they still play Carolina? I thought they played them twice already.
No, I'm pretty sure that's who they play.
No, they played them twice. I thought.
I'm trying to load it up here.
You sure it's not Tampa Bay who they play?
I'm sorry, they are playing Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's Falcons and Bucks. So those should be one win for sure. The other one, hopefully for them, they get the victory. Eagles Giants. I don't know what happened in this game. Foles was efficient. That's good for them, but I didn't know the defense also tore their ACLs with Carson because they just didn't play defense today. They let Eli do his thing, but they were able to keep the win. I guess that's somewhat of a confidence booster, but at the same time, fix the defense. Concerns. Cardinals-Redskins last game. Kind of confused, but at the same time, didn't know what to expect in this game.
Oh.
I thought Gabbert was going to be better than 18 for 41. Pretty trash number there.
I did hear before the game that both their tackles didn't play, so I probably should have talked about that.
but the Redskins played just a good enough game to win. Neither team was really in contention for the playoffs. Still, the Cardinals were mathematically still had a chance, but it wasn't really a chance. And Redskins, I guess, took a W. So there you go.
Yeah, I didn't even touch on the Panthers game. Obviously, we did live reactions to that, but then looking back at this, you don't really take into account like what the stats were, and these were like gaudier stats than I thought. Like, I didn't realize that Newton had 4 touchdowns. Obviously, he played really well. I think he's been carrying his team over the past few games on offense, especially, of course. He was responsible for 34 of the positive plays for the Panthers.
Who was?
Cam Newton. Because he had 20 completions. That's not to mention 31 attempts, and he had 14 carries.
Woof.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
McCaffrey, 12 attempts, 63 yards. And, you know, he was okay. Stewart was quiet in this game, thought he would be a little bit better. And I thought that the Packers overall got away from the run game a little bit too much. I understand the Panthers are good in that regard, and they got behind a little, but like they only had 19 carries, like 6 of them were by Aaron Rodgers. Greg Olsen was back in this game. I think that's the biggest takeaway for the Panthers. 9 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown.
Looked good.
And a couple of receivers like Bird are stepping up with 2 touchdowns in the game. And yeah, Packers are out. That sucks. But Panthers 10-4. I'm going to quickly go to the standings just to check it out before we get to the afternoon and stuff. So going to the NFC, we were just talking about it. Okay, so the Eagles still 12-2. Cowboys 8-6. So they're in contention there. So Eagles are still the first seed. Vikings are the second seed at 11-3. Lions are 8-6 as well. Do you know if the Lions are ahead of the Cowboys? I'm just gonna look at this.
Yeah, the Lions are the 7th seed, Seattle's the 8th seed, and Cowboys are the 9th seed right now.
Oh, Cowboys are the 9th seed. So if let's say the Cowboys beat the Seahawks and the Lions win every game, do the Lions make it in the playoffs?
They would depend on,
and the Falcons lose a game. That is.
But
the Lions need the Falcons to lose 2 games, right?
The Falcons have to lose 2 games for that to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
They would still beat the Cowboys in terms of that because of something. I don't really know. But
okay, well, the Falcons, looking at their schedule, they still have 3 games because they still have to play tomorrow. Assuming they beat Tampa Bay, they still have to play New Orleans and Carolina. So that's not easy. They should win one of those games, I would guess, but
I'm praying for an upset. For the Cowboys, we could beat Seattle. We could take Seattle out by winning next week. Detroit would lose 1. They play Green Bay to week 17, so that could be their challenge. And then Atlanta has to lose 2 of 3. Hoping for an upset tomorrow because that would be that 1 of 2 games a lot easier. But those are 2 hard games to finish week 16 and 17. So
yeah, Rams sitting at 10-4 right now at 3rd seed because they beat the Saints. The Saints are at 4th seed. Panthers 5th seed, 6th seed. So, could you put headphones on? Do you have headphones?
Yeah.
Are they on right now?
No.
Could you put them on? Because I keep getting like feedback.
Oh, okay.
So right now the matchup would be Rams versus Falcons. Then it would be Panthers versus Saints for the 3rd time, and the buys would be Vikings Eagles. So the big game next week is Cowboys Seahawks. Checking the Lions schedule, which I think the Lions are the worst team out of all of them. They play in Cincinnati and against Green Bay the last week. Green Bay could play spoiler on the Lions. We know how Green Bay's been against the Lions as of late. Pretty successful with Aaron Rodgers. In the AFC, Patriots 11-3, 1st seed right now. Steelers 11-3, Jaguars 10-4 in the 3rd seed. The thing about this is if the Steelers lose again, the Jaguars take the 2nd seed. I'm not sure. I don't think that will happen because the Steelers have an easy schedule, but I'm just pointing that out. If the Patriots lose, they drop to 4 losses, and then they even drop the 3rd seed. I believe so. I'm not sure the tiebreaker between the Jaguars and them, if they both have 4 losses. I think that's how it works, but I'm not sure. Chiefs right now at the 4 seed because they did beat the Chargers. And then you have the Titans at the 5th seed and the Bills. The Titans still in there.
The Titans are not making the playoffs.
Yeah, the Bills 6th seed, Ravens 7th seed, and then the 8th seed is the Chargers. Raiders are basically eliminated.
Yeah.
So
we have 4 teams for that 5th seed.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you had a prediction for that, who do you think makes it in?
Okay, I'm taking Tennessee out because they lost to the 49ers today, and they got to play the Rams and the Jags. No freaking way they beat either. So you'll have Buffalo, Baltimore.
You also have to consider the Chargers beat Buffalo.
Okay, the Bills play the Patriots and the Dolphins. Baltimore plays the Colts and the Bengals, and the Chargers play the Jets and the Raiders. So if I had to put my money on it, I would have the Ravens as the 5th seed and the Chargers at the 6th seed, because I don't think Buffalo can beat the Patriots. I think that's their one crucial thing. Now,
I don't even know if they could beat Miami in Miami. Obviously, they beat them this week, but that's tougher. You never know.
Jay Cutler, I don't really know. I don't know. But I don't think they'll get that Patriots win anyways. So, and Baltimore and the Chargers have like 2 very easy schedules. I guess the Raiders Week 17 would be a little difficult for the Chargers maybe. I mean, yeah. But, yeah, if I had to put my money, it'd be Baltimore and Chargers because I'm already taking the Titans out of the equation.
Yeah, I'm taking the Titans out. They play the Jags and the Rams. They lost to the 49ers. Ravens seem like they're in because they have a very easy schedule. So I would put the Ravens. At 5 and then the Chargers at 6. So that would mean that the Jags play the Chargers in a rematch of that game. That would be entertaining. And then the Chiefs will play the Ravens, which I think nobody would want to watch that game.
I would rather go to work than watch that game.
I think the Chiefs would take that game though.
Probably.
Consideration.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay. So the afternoon games.
We only have 3.
Should we start off with the San Francisco 49ers and Jimmy Montana?
That's gay.
With the victory. He's the tannest guy.
He's so gay.
What's wrong with that, man?
He's the tannest guy. That's what I care about. Yeah.
Bro, he's Joe Montana. And he's Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's a better name.
He has won every game he has started. He was 31 for 43.
That's great.
For 381 yards and a touchdown. Marcus Mariota, 23 for 33, 241 and 2 touchdowns. All things considered, one of his best games of the season.
I mean, stat-wise, yeah.
DeMarco Murray, 18 for 59. Henry, 7 for 19. Just their run game is not as good as it used to be. Hyde, a terrible day, 16 for 25.
Whoa.
So Garoppolo carried this team. Joe Montana, 10 catches, 114 yards for the speedster Marquise Goodwin. Who knew? Some guy named Bourne, 4 catches, 85 yards. Garrett Selleck, 3 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. This is like a practice squad.
George Kendrick Bourne, by the way. That's
4 catches, 52 yards. Taylor, the 5'2" receiver, 4 catches, 40 yards. On the other side, Rashard Matthews, 6 catches, 95 yards and a touchdown. Walker, 5 for 37 and a touchdown. And Eric Decker, 5 for 63. Defensively, half a sack for Buckner, half a sack for, I know this guy, Tank. I'll just call him Tank. Forced fumble, Coyle, and then 3 sacks on the day for the Titans, Woodyard, Williamson, and Brown. From what I saw from this game, it was pretty close all the way through. 49ers kind of had the lead for most of the game. The Titans fought their way back. The 49ers they had a big day from Robbie Gould. And he ended up getting the winner on a big drive from Jimmy Garoppolo to set them up. And that's basically the way she rolls. Titans stink. They're the worst 8-win team I've ever seen, and they're going to miss the playoffs.
Robbie Gould should get MVP. He's made 11 field goals in the last 2 games. Actually, no, sorry. He made that in the San Francisco game. I don't think that was that last week? That wasn't last week. That was
in San Francisco. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
No, Robbie Gould. Sorry, against Chicago. That was week 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago, I think.
Okay, so he's made 11 in between. He can find ways. If Jimmy G finds ways to win, that might be stealing.
Are you a 49ers fan? I guess so, right?
Am I what?
You're happy if you're a 49ers fan, right? You're not disappointed because of the pick?
No. I think you're obviously excited for the future. I mean, you got a QB that can actually win you games. I'd be excited. They're still going to get a good pick anyways. Who are the 49ers next 2 games? I'd have to look at that real quick. San Francisco. They play the Jaguars and the Rams. So they're still going to probably, no offense to them, they're still probably going to finish 4-12. You know, Jimmy G's record of winning every game is going to come to an end at some point, and I don't think he's beating the Jags next week. So they're probably still going to get probably maybe a top 5 pick, maybe 6 or 7.
They have 4? They have 4 wins?
They have 4 wins, yeah.
I think I projected them to have 4 or 5 wins.
Right now, let's see. The Giants, I'm looking at teams that have worse records. Giants, Cleveland, Indianapolis, and then there's 3 teams with a 4-10. Houston's at 4-10, Chicago's 4-10, and San Francisco's 4-10. They would be above Chicago because they already beat them. So they would have, I think, either the 5th or the 6th spot right now in terms of that. But the Texans' pick would go to the Browns.
The thing also is it doesn't matter too much because they don't need a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, and the Texans' 5th pick would go to the Browns for that 5th pick because of that trade. Yeah, it wouldn't matter too much. They don't need a QB. They can get some kind of star player or something good. Maybe they can trade up because they don't, But all things considered, this is a good victory for the 49ers. They obviously see the potential in the QB. They traded him for, what, a 2nd-round pick?
2nd-round pick.
That's pretty freaking good.
Steal, man. And I'm a Patriots fan saying that.
I said not next year, but maybe even next year. But the year after playoff run is
going. If the Seahawks implode the way that AC thinks they are, you never know.
It's going to destroy that franchise. We'll see how that goes.
It's a type of loss that sets a franchise back 10 years.
10 years. For the Titans, you're not making the playoffs. I said you had to win this game because you're not beating the Rams and you're not beating the Jags. And look at you. You lost it. You blew it. I mean, I guess they were basically behind the whole game. But they came back and they lost the game. Mariota, he had one of his best statistical games, but he didn't look like a QB I want to pick. Like, he's not a guy that I would be like, yeah, that's the one I want. He's not showing that right now. Neither him or Winston took the big step I thought they would take this year. And it kind of turned out to be a big disappointment for them. They're going to have to find a way to upset one of these 2 teams, but I don't think that's going to happen. So,
can I read you stats just to see what you would think the score would be if I read these stats?
Read the stats.
Jared Goff, 14 for 21, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception.
Okay.
3rd down percentage for the Rams, 6 for 16, 37%.
Okay.
Russell Wilson, 14 for 30, 142 yards and a touchdown. And 3rd down percentage, 4 for 14, 28%. What do you think the score would be of those stats?
10-7.
The score was 42-7.
Oh my God.
Todd Gurley had 21 carries, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. 57 long. Brown also had 10 carries for 45. Austin, the receiver, had 10 carries for 44 yards. Robert Woods, 6 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown in his game back. Second game back or Second game back, right? Early, 3 catches, 28 yards and the touchdown. And on the other side, Russell Wilson, 5 carries, 39 yards, 6 carries for 20 for McKissick. Davis, 6 for 19. McKissick, 3 catches, 38 yards. That's awful.
Holy shit, that's the leading receiver.
Baldwin, 1 catch, 6 yards. And do you want to guess Jimmy Graham's stats?
I can see them. 1 catch for -1 yard.
Yes. Looking at the defense, 3 forced fumbles for the defense of the LA Rams. You had half a sack for Longacre. The Brockers had half a sack, 2 sacks for Robert Quinn, and 3 sacks for Aaron Donald, and also for Connor Barwin.
Jesus.
How many sacks they have?
7.
Holy fuck. And then for the Seahawks, 2 sacks, Deion Jordan and Frank Clark, and then an interception for Will Height and a forced fumble for Clark. Looking at the stats, man, I don't know how this game is 42-7, but Gurley went absolutely bananas, and this was an embarrassing performance, says Kevol. The score was 17-0 after the first quarter, 38-0 at halftime.
34.
34-0.
34. And 40-0 in the third quarter. What do you say to a game about this? Like, the Rams, they didn't destroy. They didn't dismantle. They freaking killed the Seahawks, okay? The Seahawks put up an embarrassing performance of preposterous levels. The Rams went out there, made a statement. They said, look, if Cooper Kupp makes a catch last time we played, the Rams would have won that game.
There was a chance that the Rams would win by like 10 plus, but not 42-7.
No. I had confidence that the Rams were going to win this game, but not by 35 points. Gurley decided, you know what? I deserve to be MVP. 4 touchdowns.
I said it. Right?
You did, but
I said he should be in the conversation. I still don't think he wins it, but I think he's in the conversation.
He'll get a couple votes for third
place. He should. I mean, look at this team. Not all the credit can go to their coach. The players have to play the games. Todd Gurley's been their best player. They've been a Cinderella story. He should get some votes.
I mean, he's my comeback player of the year. He's gonna win that for sure. He did. It's just crazy. And for the Seahawks, they continue to be a laughingstock of this league, not because of how they're the worst team, but how they present themselves. They got somebody ejected again in this football game.
Yeah.
They went out there.
Who was ejected?
I don't remember the guy off the top of my head.
Okay.
It wasn't even somebody that mattered. But again, the whole lack of thing with Earl Thomas and Bobby Wagner after the game.
Oh my God! Talk about that, please.
Which
I wish Kevol and AC were here for this.
So Earl Thomas is commenting, and he's like, you know what? Wagner should not have played hurt. That is not. He should not have done that. It was not a smart thing. And then Wagner's like, bro, you should shut your ass up. And I don't know what he said about Twitter, but he's like, keep your comments to yourself. You're just jealous. And I'm like, you're on the same team. You're on the same. It's not like you're like the Rams and the Seahawks. You're on the same team. You've played for multiple years, and you are arguing because you lost by 35 points. What's the point? There is nothing. All this creates is dissension in the locker room. All it creates is anger between you. And I know it's bleak considering you lost by 35 points, but you've got a playoff chance still in there. Don't focus on this bull crap that's on the sidelines that nobody cares about, that doesn't even matter to your game or your plans going forward. Questionable whether Wagner should have played, but it doesn't matter. And then the game, look at the stats. Their leading receiver had 38 yards of reception. 38 yards. Graham had -1 yard. That's atrocious. The Saints would have never allowed this. I mean, Baldwin had 1 catch for 6 yards. That's pitiful. That's Dennis pitiful, okay? And then you have Luke Wilson, 1 catch for 26 yards.
And
McKissick is your leading receiver with 38 yards. Holy shnikey. But Goff didn't even play that well. He had 120 yards.
Nope.
That's 4 fantasy points off yards.
Early stats, and I guess the score.
You take away 4 touchdowns, the Rams still win 14-7.
Even take away, even just blank out the touchdown total, and you would still guess it might be 24-10.
Mm-hmm. It was an embarrassing performance by the Seahawks. They go out there and they shit the bed on television. They're lucky that it wasn't even the big, as AC pointed out, this wasn't even the biggest story of the afternoon games. But man, that is a terrible way to go out there and perform. And
that's classic Seahawks, though, just right under the rug.
Right under there. And now they're not even the favorites for their next game. They're not even the favorites. So,
oh, girls.
I don't think that's how you pronounced it correctly, but terrible performance. Again, I was watching more of the other game we're about to talk about, a little bit more, but I mean, I'm looking on the side on the little bar, and I'm like, oh, score alert! Oh, Rams scored. Okay, they got the lead, 13-0. Oh, another touchdown. Okay, great, 20-0, and it just kept going and going and going. So, Kev, I don't know if you're not here for a reason, but
I don't know. Someone check on that guy.
He might be on the watch. We'll figure it out.
All right, Dilly, let's get to the comments before we get to the big game.
All righty. Let me get to the chat. Everybody, subscribe to the Bottom Line View, by the way, if you're not already.
If you're not, I don't know why the hell you're not.
Exactly. Michael Sachs gave us $2. Thank you very much.
You're up for the awards.
Yeah, I did win some money today, so that'll help out as well.
I did as well. Bodo, if you're watching out there, bro, thank you for paying up.
Thank you. You are a loyal man. I feel bad for his bank account. Yes. All right, we have a lot of comments talking about this Steelers-Patriots game. I wonder what it could be. I really do. I wonder.
Oh, I should get the straw and the Jake Barton and to sit back.
So you know what, everybody, play this game along. It's called Let's Take a Shot for every time that this is going to be mentioned.
Okay. It was not a catch, guys, even though I thought it was a touchdown. I thought it was a catch. I said to Mike, I was like, good game, bro. You won. I shook his hand. I was like, good game. And then they return. And then what happened? Okay, but the funny thing is, okay, let me go through the situation. I was sitting there. I was on the left. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the left here. TV here. I'm on the left couch. He's on the right couch. My other buddy is Vikings fan. He's smile this big over here, right? Okay. So I see this Juju play. First off, the worst fucking defense I've ever seen in my entire worst defense ever. I'm like, well, after the Patriots scored, I'm like, this is too much time. Patriots defense going to give this up. Doesn't matter. They're going to give this up. And, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster, who probably runs like a 7.2. I don't know how he got all the way down the field.
I don't know. He's not that slow.
He's fast, okay? He got all the way down the field. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, shit, we're going to lose this game. Fuck. So, Jesse James, he catches the ball. He goes back. Okay, so what he did, he turns around, and he tries to put it. He could have just fallen backwards, and maybe he wouldn't have gotten in, but he would have been like the inch line, and they would just hurry up and run the ball in the end zone. Anyways, so as the play is taking place, Big Ben makes a guy miss, of course, for the 8th time in the game. And then he throws the ball. Jesse James catches it, turns in, and the replay happens. Touchdown, blah, 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 blah. Mike is the first person. Mike, not me. Mike is the first person to say, I don't know if that was a catch. He's like, I don't know if that was a catch. And I was like, what are you talking about? That was a fucking catch. Like, he had the ball. Whatever, it was a catch. I accepted defeat. I was like, oh, whatever. We're still in the playoffs. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. That was my mindset at that point. I was like, okay, I guess we're going to have to play on the road. That kind of sucks, but let's see what happens. Anyway, so that happens. And then they review it, of course, because it's a scoring play. And the more we watch it, I'm still like, I think that's a catch. I think they'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The hands underneath, it kind of turns a little, whatever, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's probably a catch. Mike's just sitting there in silence, doesn't say a word. Tony Romo comes on, and he's at like 10 minutes after, like 10 replays in, he's like, Jim, that wasn't a catch. Yeah. I'm like, say this now, you fucking bastard.
Because he's like waiting for the moment. He's like, oh, what? They're taking so long.
Like he's like, this doesn't matter. Like 10 replays after, he's like, that's not a catch. That's not a catch. That's not a catch. That's not a catch, Jim. It's not a catch. And then I'm like, really? Like, we have a chance to overturn this? Like, really? So I'm sitting there, and it's incomplete. I'm like, And then what happens after that? There's an okay, so what happens after that? Big tackle by Butler.
Huge.
That keeps the guy in bounds. I don't remember if it was Bryant or somebody. So they keep him in bounds, and they have to hurry up to the line. And I was thinking, okay, you probably want to go for it. I think they still had a timeout, right? Or no?
No,
No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
No. Okay, maybe they didn't. Maybe that was the Patriots who had time.
No, but they took that timeout when they took Juju Smith-Schuster with that long play. That was the last timeout.
Okay. So they hurry up to the line, and I'm like, okay, they could spike it or go for it. I think they would probably go for it. Romo's telling them to go for it. And I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it seemed like they obviously went for the fake spike. It was obvious. There was only 2 receivers on the play. There was Jesse James in the flat, and I think he was covered. I don't know.
But you know we're going to throw to him, though.
Yeah, we're going to throw to him because he's like 5 yards outside the end zone, and he's not going to make it to the end zone he's going to get tackled inbound. The game's going to end, right? Yeah. And the other one is a slant to Eli Rogers with 3 people on him. So Rowe tips the ball up in the air, and they get the interception. Daron Harmon, who always gets the game-sealing interception, like every single time. Like if you had to bet a spread for the Patriots game-sealing interception, Daron Harmon would be like up here, and everyone else would be down here. Anyways, so Daron Harmon gets the interception. But Big Ben should have never thrown that ball.
No, he shouldn't have.
He never should have thrown that ball. He should have saw it. He pump fakes. He tries to go back, and then he still throws the ball, despite there being 3 to 4 people in the vicinity. Of course, it's going to get tipped if there's that many people around the ball, instead of just throwing it out of the back of the end zone and settle for the field goal. Hey, if Brady gets the ball back and goes all the way down the field and score, which probably would have happened anyways, but still, you got to take that chance of, going to overtime, right? It was a stupid play for Ben. I heard after the game he never really owned up to his mistake. He just said it was Todd Haley's fault, which is classic.
Of course he did, because
I think he got injured in the game like 17 times. Like I was counting the amount of times he got hurt in the game. Did you see how many times he got hurt?
Whoever said it in the chat was like, "This is the big boot game for Mr."
Jesus.
You gave your own story. I want to give you my
That's my story. All right. We haven't even gotten to the game. That was just a random spark, a rant there. Go ahead, Billy.
So here's what I'm doing, because I'm at the house. I'm chilling. I'm not by myself, but I got money on the line, all right? Usually I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good game, all right? Have fun. And then I'm like, well, betting makes this a lot more different. Okay.
It does, trust me.
I mean, I bet before, but like this game had all the hype. Okay. So Schuster makes this big play. I'm like, oh, shit. They just wasted like 67 of this fucking yards on the field.
Did I also mention on that play that frickin' Daron Harmon, I think it was Harmon, he cut McCourty off for making the tackle.
Yes.
Like McCourty was trying to tackle the guy, and they like ran into each other. It's like, fuck.
So then it just takes forever, and they get at the 10-yard line. And Romo screaming, take a timeout, take a timeout. Okay, fine. All right. So 35 seconds left. All right. I'm waiting. The anxiety's up a little bit, but I'm waiting. I'm like, oh, shit.
So you're like, at this point, you're like me. Okay, it's overtime, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm either thinking.
At least overtime. They could win the game. It's probably going to be overtime.
What I'm thinking is, okay, well, before the Schuster play?
No, like after the Schuster play.
Well, there was a tied game, so.
No, it wasn't. The Patriots were up by 3. But the point is that the Steelers were inside like the 25-yard line. It was like a free field goal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. So I'm like, oh shit. We kick the field. I'm hoping for the field goal opportunity. They tie this game. Whatever. Cool. Jesse catches the football. I'm like, oh fuck. Okay. Because I tweeted right before you saw that tweet. I was like, yeah, we got they scored.
Yeah, I said it's not over, and then everyone else was just going off about, oh, Gronk won the game and stuff.
Like Mr. Krabs money. All right, we're good. And then he scores a touchdown. I'm like, oh shit. But then I'm on my phone and I'm like, this is taking a long time for this catch. Like an absurd.
Yeah. Like I was like, that was an easy catch. And then they're like, it's taking too long. So
yeah.
whenever it's dragged out, that means it's being reversed.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, the first 8 times, Romo and Nance are like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right?
What are they even looking at? Right? And then Rance is like, are they looking to see if this is an incompletion? And then as soon as he says that, Romo's like, oh, yes, Jim. Oh, my God. Yeah, you picked it up, Jim. Oh, what a play. And then, so I'm like, okay, then once I see the hand go under, I'm like, okay. So for everybody saying that this is bullshit, while it shouldn't be that thing, it's the NFL rule. Like, it's the Calvin.
Actually, it's a rule. Like, it's actually described. Like, this one, even though it was, like, very, very close, don't get me wrong, and like I said, I even thought it was a touchdown. There's a video on Twitter of one of the head refs clearly going over it, and there's also, like, if you look at the NFL rule, like, the description of the catch, like, it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah. They're at least consistent with that kind of play. You know, they've been inconsistent with some kind of these holes and all this stuff, but at least with that, they've seen that it's a Des Bryant, Calvin Johnson rule, that thing was right in the end zone, whatever. James should have just fucking, like you said, just walked backwards and would have fell into the end zone. Okay. But then second down happens. I thought it was Hayward Bay, but I'm going to get, maybe it was Bryant.
Maybe it was Hayward Bay. I don't know.
It was one of the two. Either way, he gets tackled inside. I'm like, okay, this is going really fast, which is making me even worse because if they score a touchdown.
You know what's funny is this is the very same situation that happened to the Seahawks. They were rushing to like score, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's why the mistake happened.
Well, when I saw Ben go like this, I'm like, I've seen this before because he did it against my Cowboys last year. He did the fake spike and threw it to Brown.
It's really obvious, though. Like, yeah, I even saw it coming.
He went like this. I'm like, bro, I know what you're doing. So I'm like, if you're going to go for this play, why wouldn't Eli go for a fade? Because there's only going to be one guy to possibly defend this, right? If he fakes it and goes there, that's what worked the last time I've seen this happen. So Eli, and by the way, he says that, somebody on the sidelines called the fake snap like this. But then Rodney Harrison, who I watched on the NBC halftime show, was like, the rookie's not going to be like that if that's what you're faking. Like, if he thinks that's what's actually going to be called, he's going to be like.
If only Ben is thinking that, and nobody else knows.
All they're going to do is just go like this. And then they're going to be like, what the fuck? Why are you not? What are you doing? So then this play happens. I'm like, okay, throw the ball away. Well, in my head, I'm like, okay, throw it because you're going to get intercepted. But logically, you're thinking, throw the ball away. Look how much coverage there is. He goes like this, and he's like, and then throws it again. Even if you think that was a dumb call, there's still a lot of time for the Steelers to make this play. By the way, I still agree with the NFL rulebook. While I don't think it should be that kind of way, it's in the NFL rulebook, so I'm going to keep it as such. You don't throw that football. You can't do that. So then I'm like, yeah, let's go celebrate. Let's go eat wings. It's on me. Cowboys game's in an hour. So that's my story, just being by myself. But it was an exciting 60 minutes. I'll tell you that much.
It was a really good game. It was one of the best games of the year for sure. So getting into the game itself, like we told our stories. So just going through the box score, like this is how you can tell this was a good game. New England scored first. Pittsburgh responded. New England got a field goal, and at halftime it was 17-10 for Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Then New England goes down, scores. They miss the extra point. Pittsburgh comes back. They score. So it's 24-16 at that point. New England shuts out Pittsburgh in the fourth quarter. scores 11 points in the fourth quarter to win it. So they went down. They got a field goal. I thought New England's offense was – okay, this was a weird game because this was a very offensive game, but the offenses held the ball for so long that it felt defense – like the score ended up being like 27-24. Instead of like 38-35, which is what the game actually felt like, because the drives were so methodical.
It was long. Like a 7-minute drive.
I will say this: the Patriots had the bigger plays down the field.
Yeah.
They, like Cooks on the first drive, Gronk a number of times. They had the bigger plays down the field, and they were scoring faster. And the Steelers did a really, really good job from a Patriots fan perspective of keeping them off the field and driving, and they were really good on third down. Well, the Patriots weren't really good on third down besides when they really, really needed it, and they just said, fuck it, I'm throwing it to Gronk. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't very good on third down, which is the reason why when they didn't get it, I think they punted twice, right?
Okay, so they were 3 for 9 on third down. I'm trying to look and see how many punts they had. I don't even know if it shows it on here.
Like the biggest thing in this game for why the Steelers were so effective, they were 62% on third down. They were 10 for 16. The Patriots kept getting them the third down, but the Steelers kept converting, and that's why the Steelers were able to control the pace of this game. But it just comes down to Tom Brady. It comes down to Rob Gronkowski, and that's just what happens. Yeah, so looking at the stats, Brady, 22 for 35, 298, touchdown. He had that interception as well, he was under pressure. It was a bad decision. I didn't think it would get picked off, but he kind of threw it, and it was tipped and intercepted.
That was a bad
it was a bad play. Ben, 22 for 30, 281, 2 touchdowns, interception. Pretty effective overall. A lot of short stuff because the Patriots were preventing the deep play. And, of course, when Antonio Brown got out, it definitely changed their game plan, which then had Le'Veon Bell carry the ball 24 times, 117 yards and a touchdown, and also get 5 catches for 48 yards. Actually, the Patriots had better yards per carry, with Lewis had a 5.2, I think, yards per carry. 13 attempts, 67 yards. It doesn't say on NFL.com, but I thought he had a decent yards per carry.
It was 5.2 average.
Yeah, So 13 attempts, 67 yards for Lewis, as well as the game-winning touchdown. Burke had 4 carries, 12 yards, and 1 touchdown, which was the opening touchdown. So, and then Connor also carried 3 for 13. He got hurt in the game as well. So the receivers, Juju Smith with that 69-yard catch, had 6 catches for 114. Bryant, 4 for 59 and touchdown, played really good. I thought Bryant had a really good game. He had the one-handed catch. He also had a really nice catch on the right sideline earlier in the game. Brown had 2 catches for 24 yards before getting injured. And then really Eli Rogers had a touchdown. Grimble had a big play in the game on third down, I think. And then for the Patriots, 9 catches, 168 yards. I think it's 18 yards per catch for Rob Gronkowski. 168 yards, had that long of 31. Monstrous game. It reminded me of that Broncos game in the AFC Championship where he dominated. They did lose that game, but he absolutely was the only guy that was really doing anything. And yeah, Cooks also pitched in with 4 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown. Almost had another 30-yard gain, but he stepped out of bounds. Amendola, 2 catches, 23 yards. And that's basically it. White got banged up. Burkhead left the game, but he is okay. That's good. Lewis, 1 catch. So a lot of it came down to just a few receivers in the game. And, yeah, Brown's injury, which we'll get to. Gilmore in the game, I thought, had a pretty bad game. I think he made up for it in the fourth quarter where he kind of made some nice tackles and some big plays. But, Bryant was having a pretty good day against him. Even though he only caught 4 passes, they were all big catches. And so I thought this was one of Gilmore's weaker games recently. Eric Rowe let that big play up to Juju, but then redeemed himself with the tip. Pat Chung, I thought, had a really good game overall. He had 4 tackles. Lawrence Guy had a sack. He played okay. I thought the D-line played okay. At times they were getting pressure, and then at other times they couldn't tackle Big Ben, and they were giving him a little bit too much time. So there's a mix of both there. McCourty it was kind of quiet. Flowers, I thought, had a really good game. Obviously, he showed up in this game. They needed him to. He had half a sack. Harmon had the game-winning interception. I thought Butler had a good game. He doesn't show up on the stat sheet, 3 tackles, because he did his job. Receivers didn't really catch many passes in game, so I think it was probably under like 30 yards. Davis had 7 tackles, but that's in a negative fashion. He spent a lot of the day covering Gronk as well as Artie Burns, who both had the highest tackles in the game, which was 7 and 5 for each guy. The Patriots were attacking Burns a lot with Cooks and Gronk, and then Davis he wasn't even close to covering him. I thought Hilton was pretty good for the Steelers. Mitchell had some nice hits. Williams got the interception. And I thought overall Hayward had a good game. And Hargrave also had a pretty good game pass rushing. Both teams had 21 first downs, which is interesting. And the Steelers slightly outgained the Patriots in the game. Obviously, they had the ball. And where's the time of possession stat? Do they have the time of possession stat?
I can show you.
35 minutes for the Steelers, 24 for the Patriots.
It seemed like the Steelers just had the ball longer, but they were, like you said, those long-ass drives took a lot of that.
The red zone percentage, 3 for 4 for the Patriots and 3 for 5 for the Steelers. So that may have been pretty big.
Well, considering one of them was the ender, yeah.
Was the game-winning. But also, I think that the Steelers played almost a perfect game against the Patriots. Like, this was just about as good as they possibly could have played. I understand they could have covered Gronk better, whatever. They weren't going to cover Gronk anyways. They don't have the players to cover Gronk. They played a perfect...
You know what, to be fair, though, they did stop him in the first half to a degree. They got him for 2 catches.
I think that the Patriots just didn't throw him the ball enough in the first half.
Well, I mean, you say that which you will, but I mean, he only had 2 catches for 20-something yards, and then he goes off for, 7 catches for 140?
And also, though, they only had the ball, 2 times in the first half, the Patriots.
3.
3 times, but one was a kneel, wasn't it?
No, that was the 4th drive.
Okay, so 3 times. They scored 10 points, and they punted once. So, I mean, that... I
get you to agree, but they were. I'm not saying lights out, no nothing, but
Yeah, I know what you mean, but maybe it was. I don't know what it was, a combination of things. I think they just adjusted in the second half, and Brady's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna throw to Gronk."
That's probably what they did, because they weren't expecting. Oh my God, the commentary wouldn't shut the fuck up about how they changed
man coverage. Hold it, man cover.
Guys, you know what?
You can't cover Gronk. You're just giving. You know what happened? After the first series of the game, Dylan, they played zone first game of the first series. Mm-hmm. They got ripped up. It was 5 plays and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Then after that series, they went almost all man coverage, and that's when Gronk started to get in his game, because then they started to cover him in man, and he just kind of beat his guy every time.
And it's just funny because the commentary wouldn't shut the fuck up. They're like, bro, in the first time and I've seen in 15 years, they are going to man coverage against the Patriots.
That they play man coverage.
I'm like, bro, just shut up. I mean, I get it. They don't do it very often, but it was just constantly out there.
Who do you think played better defensively, the Patriots or the Steelers?
That's tough.
Because as a Patriots fan, it felt like we played worse. But at the same time...
I would say for 3 quarters, the Steelers played better.
But at the same time, the Patriots forced 4 punts, and the Steelers forced 2.
I don't know. I feel like the Steelers for 3 and maybe a half a quarter played better. But the Patriots came up with that. I don't know, because then I would be like, well, they made one good play on that last drive. I mean,
the big thing, though, is they made that drive before that drive. They got a 3-and-out.
3-and-out, which was big. Yeah,
that was huge.
Yeah. Because if they had gotten any the time of possession, they would have wasted more clock for that.
I was worried there because I was like, man, the way that they're just killing this clock, I don't know if we're gonna get the ball back. Like,
yeah, I think the Patriots just played a little better, but the Steelers accommodated for some things that I thought were going to be struggles, and that was a key thing, obviously, because the man coverage. But they did something, besides that actually made them look a little bit more decent as the game.
They got a decent pass rush in the game, I thought, which got them the turnover. Which was
because when they put pressure on Brady on that third down, he couldn't find any open receiver. He didn't want to take the sack, which take it as well. But because the first drive, like you said, Patriots went out there and played what I thought was going to be their game plan. Just we're going down the field. We're explosive, right? Because they scored pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, there goes the Steelers defense. But then they went up and they changed some things. Hayden not being in the game, I don't know how much that changed their plan because they thought it was a game time decision. So maybe they had something planned for him. I don't know. But I don't know. It was a good offensive matchup. Obviously, I think that was the key.
And I think, the Steelers had Hayden out and the Patriots had Van Noy out. Yep. So that hurt, obviously, the Patriots, especially in the run game. They were playing Chung a lot at linebacker. And
Chung made some great plays. He made some great plays.
Yeah, he did. But, he's such a versatile player that he's he's like 5'10", like 200 pounds. He's playing linebacker. But, I thought the Patriots, they did adjust. Bell beat them on a couple of receptions just for first downs or whatever, 5-yard catches, just for big first downs. And they started to put their fourth string safety, Jordan Richards, on him. I think a big adjustment in the game because they never really went to him after that. And then also I just thought Patriots. I thought Patriots against the run. I mean, I thought it would be worse. I thought they didn't fare terribly. Bell had his plays, which he will have his plays, but
he did have his first 100-yard rushing game in 6 games. So
did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know it was that long that he had.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
They've been using him in the receiving game also.
Yeah, the Patriots' strategy was clearly to defend the pass. I think it's obviously this isn't Pittsburgh too, so if they play them again, hopefully the home field gives them a slight more advantage on defense. I think you're still a little worried, especially if Brown's playing.
What do you think about? Did that change anything?
Brown? Well, I just think that it was weird though, because I felt like they didn't adjust the way I thought they would. They didn't start doubling anyone else. They just kind of started playing normal, sort of.
That's why I think Bryant became bigger presence because of that.
Yeah, Bryant still made his plays. I felt like they didn't really try and shut anyone else down. They just said, okay, Brown's not in the game. We're just going to go back to regular defense. Which I thought they would start doubling Bryant instead, maybe because of the way that he was playing. But yeah, obviously I thought Brown, just the way that the vibe early in the game, it felt like Brown wasn't going to have a huge game. It just felt like he was obviously going to impact the way the Patriots played defense, and that would have helped the Steelers. But it just felt like he wasn't going to have 100 yards. He might have a few plays like he did early in the game, a couple plays he had for 5 yards or 10. One was 10 yards, one was 5
one
yards.
catch for 5 yards and one catch for 19 yards.
Yeah, and the thing is, the coverage on that 19-yard play wasn't bad. The rush didn't get to Ben. I felt like a lot of times when the Patriots were playing defense, the rush just didn't get there. I thought the coverage was really good. The rush just wasn't able to get there in time, which is
and then when they did put the rush on him and they got to him, Big Ben either made some mistakes or he got hurt.
This is what I'm saying. Ben played really well, I thought, except for that interception. And Bell played really – the Steelers played a really good game. They couldn't have done much more to win this game, which I think has to be heartbreaking if you're a Steelers fan. So, and the Patriots, I mean, Brady made that one mistake. And I just thought, the Patriots did they did their exact game plan, I thought, on defense. force them to make every third down possible, force them to drive the entire field. And it just so happened that the Steelers were making the third downs. Like, you can't really do much more than that.
Well, and, some of those plays were like, those were some pretty good plays by the Steelers. Like, there was one in particular. Who was it? It was his only catch of the game, Grimble. It was like 3rd and 8 in the red zone, and it's a design play where they're going to the right, and it looks like he's stuffed. He's like blocking out here, and nobody sees him coming.
That was a delay, and they caught it off guard. It was a nice play. Like, you can't really do much about that.
Yeah, like as a defender, you're like, what the like? I can't do anything about that. So those were the smart plays. They threw the belt, 3rd and 4, and they made the first down. They were smart about their game plan. It's in terms of games that we've seen this year, I think this was the best one we saw.
This was a really well played game all around. Like, you can't really complain for other than a couple plays in the game, which is going to happen because of human mistake, like the Juju play, which was more of the Patriots' fault.
That one was just,
or the Ben play, which was more of a mistake by Ben than a play by the Patriots. But you have to give them credit for being aware of that situation. There wasn't a ton of mistakes. Like, the fact that I can remember them just means that this was a well-played football game by two good teams.
Yeah.
But I think we should get to the point of do you think this is do you think that what are the chances now for the Steelers to beat the Patriots after watching this game, knowing that the Patriots are probably 90% of getting this home field advantage? What's the chance the Steelers can go into New England if they do beat Jacksonville, if beating New England in the AFC Championship?
Well, they raised my limit, or not my limit. They raised my expectations a little bit more. Because they played, they played that game. They played what we would consider pretty much a very good game, as much as they possibly could have done. But I don't know. It's tough. I don't know how much you can do because they're getting the home field advantage, but then they're also probably going to play Jacksonville.
Well, if they can beat them. I just don't think that's a good matchup for them.
It's not a good thing for them because that defense. Look, Ben was making a lot of.
If there's any defense that can stop the Steelers completely, it's the Jaguars.
Yeah. It's gonna be because the Jaguars already did it earlier this year. I know this is a different team for the Steelers, but that's just not a good thing for him. I don't think Big Ben is not gonna he's not gonna like that pressure on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if they make it to that, let's say they do. Let's say they make it an AFC Championship game. They do raise my percentage probably to 20% more. I don't know where that would lack, but
you know what I think was interesting in this game?
What that
is? I thought offensively for New England on a couple of these third downs, I was like, "Where's Edelman?" If we had Edelman. I don't think if New England had Edelman, the Steelers would not have stopped them once in this entire game. Just the fact that, early in the game, those third downs where the Steelers were able to get pressure and stuff, it just seemed like nobody was open. You know what I mean? And, Edelman always gets open. So.
Not one stop, but I mean.
That's how I felt. I was just if we had Edelman. You know what I mean? I was just
Wait, the last two games would have been a lot different. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it's just a little concerning that from a Patriots fan perspective, if a team can play man like that, and not that the Steelers were very successful, but just if they can do it at a high level and Gronk doesn't beast mode, can the Patriots figure out ways? And I think that's what we need to see. If they do play the Jags, which the Jags don't actually play a ton of man coverage, but they definitely could.
Yeah, they
How
could.
does that factor in? The thing about the Jags is I feel like in their weakest moments, they've been weak against the tight end and the running back. So I feel like New England could take advantage of that. But it's just.
That would be a fun matchup, though.
From the offensive perspective of New England as a fan, that is a little concerning of, okay, who's the other guy that can step up in the big situation outside of Gronk? That's the only thing offensively that I felt was lacking a little. Lewis is obviously a really good player. He's mostly running the ball, and then Cooks makes a couple of plays every game, but it doesn't seem like he's consistently getting those third down.
Yeah, I was like, I'm looking for Cooks to be that kind of guy. I thought he was going to be the third down receiver. Besides Gronk, obviously, who got open a lot in the fourth quarter. But, like, I don't know. It's weird. He got the touchdown. He got a touchdown, but it just wasn't, like, the game I expected from him, if anything.
Yeah, like, it just seems like he is the deep threat. Like, he just gets, like, maybe if Hogan gets healthier, that would help. Or maybe Britt starts to play and maybe he helps.
Yeah, but that was the thing that they've been doing all year. I remember that's how they started him off, was like, we're just going to throw 40-yard routes to you. Like
Cooks?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about, like, on third down, because I feel like it's like Hogan earlier in the year were better in those situations and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, apparently Malcolm Mitchell may come back. I don't know how good he'll be, but just, like, maybe with some of these guys coming in, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's been 2 games in a row where the Patriots have struggled on third down. I think they need to get rid of that.
And the Miami man defense last week also did some of that pressure. So
yeah, that was just the classic Miami game more than anything.
I'm not gonna say the Miami played like the greatest, but I mean they did something.
Super Bowl, so
they lost today. So there you
go. Yeah. Any other like thoughts on Steelers or Patriots?
Good game, really fun game. Probably one of my favorite weeks to watch football in a while. But this one was a good game, really fun, contested. I hope to see this. I don't want to say anything, and I don't want to see. Not saying I don't want to see the Jags, but it would be a really good matchup again to see this matchup in the playoffs. So.
And it would be interesting in Gillette to see how the Steelers come in, because it's kind of a place for them.
I'm
happy New England got the home field nonetheless.
Yeah.
This was one of those games where I was coming in, and as the game approached, I was getting more nervous and more nervous because of the injuries and stuff. Like, I was like, okay, at the beginning on Monday, I was like, oh, we're going to beat the Steelers. We always beat the Steelers. And then on Sunday, I was like, shit, I don't know if we're going to win this game. Like, when I was watching the game, I was like, okay, if we win, cool. If we lose, I'm going to accept it. Like, this wasn't one of those games where if we would have lost, I would have been pissed.
Like, no, but then the game just became more dramatic as it went on. And it was
like, I guess, like, I would have been pissed because of that freaking Juju play. But like, besides that, I would have been like, okay, we lost to a good team in their building, whatever, right? But it wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like the Chiefs game in week 1 where I was like, I had no expectation. Like, games where it's like, that's a bad loss. Like, I hate those losses. Like, where you think there's 0% chance of the other team beating you, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the comments and see what
let's take our shot game. Some of them are already deleted because we've talked about this for so long. So there you go. Bobby still thinks the Lions are making the playoffs. Buddy,
he's a Lions fan. They have a shot because of their schedule, but I don't know. I have a feeling that Packers game is going to bite you in the ass, bro.
That's what I'm thinking. Amp says this was a good game. Rob says Gold should be a Pro Bowler. I mean, he's making kicks. Holy shit. He should. Dominate. I dominate Kiwi. I'm going to say that's how you pronounce it. Brady, Gronk are unstoppable. If Gronk would tap into that killer mentality more often. Nothing opposing teams can do.
Okay, I've said this a number of times. I feel like the Patriots hold him back.
Yeah.
They're like, don't get hurt. And like a lot of games.
To be fair, I don't want. He's having.
Yeah, like I feel like he only does this when they really need it, or it's a big game. Like usually, if it's a team like Buffalo or whatever, he'll be like, okay, I'll make my plays, but like I'll kind of be conservative.
Yeah, like the game against Buffalo, he still made that amazing catch.
Yeah, but like there's just games like that where I feel like he only has like 5 targets, but they win by like 20 points.
Yeah. So here's one of multiple comments. We'll be getting to this. Cohen and Corey says Steelers got robbed.
Yeah.
Rob says free agents will want to come.
Well, that game could have went either way. No question.
Rob says free agents will want to come to the Niners this offseason. That could be key.
Probably.
And then my favorite comment I've seen so far, Kevo was probably wearing a bag over his head right now.
At the party? Yeah, probably.
party.
Probably with like a kick me sign on the back of his.
No, receivers for sale. Receivers for sale.
Speaking of for a 7th.
Speaking of sale, the Panthers will be up for sale at the end of the season. Yes.
Diddy,
and I want Chad Ochocinco to join them.
Do you know what was the funniest thing about Diddy's comment? It was like, I'd have the best halftime shows. I was like, I'm sold.
Halftime shows. No, because you know what he would do? He wouldn't bring any like white pop artist. I'm not trying to be that kind of way.
No, it would be his guys from his label.
Yeah, it would just.
And yeah,
I don't even.
He would sign Cap and have him be the backup to Cam.
Amazing.
Did you see Cam's hat today?
No, I did not.
You gotta look at Cam's hat.
Oh God, I can't wait. Can't wait. Did we talk about the Giants-Eagles? Yes, we did.
I want to talk about it more if AC job's on here. I don't know if he is though.
Which is weird because we've been on here for like an hour and a half. We still got one more game to talk about. Fact or fiction, Thomas Davis is suspended 2 games for that hit on Devontae Adams in the 3rd quarter.
He didn't even get kicked out of the game, so I don't even think he's going to get suspended at all.
He's not. Predator says, Dilly, did you see the Dilly poster in the Cowboys game? No, but I wish I would have. I don't know. I got to get a Cowboys Dilly shirt. That would be nice. That'd be a nice Christmas present. Predator says Romo is having flashbacks. Feel you on that. And then, of course, somebody says, fuck the scum Patriots. Yeah, totally. Train Solutions says, I think the refs got it right. Rob asks, do the Patriots have a big following in Ontario?
Well, I've only been in Ontario. I'm back in BC right now, but I've only been in Ontario, like lived there for like 4 months. So I don't exactly know. I feel like it is a lot stronger, obviously, in Ontario and Toronto and the East Coast than it is in the West Coast. I only know a few people that like the Patriots, like maybe a couple here, but in Ontario, it seems like they are probably the 2nd or 3rd most popular team in Ontario. The Bills are the most popular. The Patriots,
the Bills and then the Patriots.
The Patriots are probably the 2nd most popular team. The Steelers are like in there. Packers, it's a good mix. But I feel like the East Coast teams in Toronto are very prevalent. But I think the Bills and Patriots are the 2 most popular. That's what I would say.
A lot of people talking about what they thought about the touchdown and all that stuff. Predator says you have to maintain full possession to the ground even when you get in for a touchdown. So people are concerned about that. Fact or fiction, Deion Lewis gets fined for throwing the football at the camera. I thought that was funny. I
didn't even notice it till after the game when I saw the highlight.
That's a Roger Federer. Like I'm just gonna sign it,
though. I liked it.
Yeah, it's funny. Irving gave us $2. So another.
Thanks, bro.
Dilly.
You're up for the thing too.
he said go Pats as well. So there you go. That's another one. Predator says, yeah, the ball touched the ground, not a catch. See, here's the thing. I don't like that it's a rule, but it is a rule. So
I thought it was a touchdown. I just want to say that again.
Well, and the referees did think it was a touchdown too. Let's all put that out there. Like somebody in the NFL upstairs thought this wasn't a good idea. Like it wasn't a catch. So
Romo didn't, and Dungy didn't.
Yeah, Dungy.
Fucking Dungy. Okay. The guy that picked the fucking.
He goes, I'm gonna go with the Broncos tonight. Like I got an upset going. And Ronnie's like, you never picked the Patriots. You know what? I like Tony Dungy. I've gotten his autograph before, but like,
Tom Brady is the 6th greatest quarterback of all time. That's all I need to say.
Wait, he did?
Yes.
When did he do this?
They had an ESPN thing. Like Brady still came out first, but like it was like it would show like who put them the highest ranking and the lowest ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So when it said that, it was like Brady like 6th, and then everyone's like, "Who the fuck put Brady 6th?" And then like Tony Dungy was the guy that put him 6th.
Was it like this year?
Yeah, it was like this past like after the Super Bowl. And
that's when you know you have a spite against somebody.
4th.
Oh, what's that?
He had Steve Young ahead of Brady.
That's when you know you have a hate-filled vengeance against somebody. You're just like, no, no, Peyton Manning's number one. He probably put Peyton Manning number one. I'm just kidding.
Oh, he put him second.
Joe Montana won, I'm guessing.
No, he put Elway, I think.
I might have to question his QB theory. Not as a coach, but Jesus Christ. They're talking about the do you agree that when the ball is fumbled out of the end zone that the defense should get the ball? We'll talk about that. It's the rule. It is a rule. Again,
it happened like 8 times this year.
Yeah. It happened in your Jets-Patriots game.
Yeah.
That one was a little more questionable, but
it happened in the Bears game. It happened.
Yeah. That was the worst one though, because he challenged it and got called that.
Yeah.
So. Let's see. Nick says he bet on the Pats and the Cowboys. Got some good money. Stressful money, but yes, good money.
If you bet the point spread, which was 3 for both. For like 3 when I bet on it for both ones, you would have came out with zeros, which I did. But I ended up with money because I bet with Bodo, and I got 2 of the 3 right because I bet on the Rams. Thank fucking Jesus. Oh yeah,
nice. And here is AC.
Fan of the number one.
Talk about Eagles. We've been waiting to get into these Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm a little tired, but no, I'll talk Eagles for it. What do you guys want to know?
Yeah, well, we didn't see the games because we were doing the Packers-Panthers, so we were just wondering like what happened.
You know what? If Pats people get to make the excuse about going to Miami, I'm making an excuse of just playing against the Giants because they did it earlier on in the season against the exact same team. Basically, the defense has played well against everyone else they've ever played, but they made the stops when they had to. Obviously, the Giants scored on the first 3 possessions. They only scored 30 points.
28, 30?
Yeah, so and the Eagles special teams came up big, but like you take those first 3 possessions away and they were big plays, missed tackles that we don't normally do. So but Foles
are you at all concerned about the defense after the Rams game and now this game?
I guess somewhat, but they make big plays. And if the offense keeps in scoring, and we saw that Foles didn't miss a step from Carson Wentz. Like, if you watch that game,
playing the Giants, to be fair.
Well, whatever. The Patriots lost to the Dolphins, dude. And what did we say there, right? Like, teams, we still won. Like, that's what I don't get. Like, is that your chirp? That it was the Giants?
No, I'm just saying the Giants are awful. Like, they're like.
No, I know, but the Dolphins were getting destroyed too by a lot of teams, and then the Patriots lost to them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, it's a tough thing. Like, you wouldn't want me saying that if the Patriots beat the Dolphins to be like, oh, it's because the Dolphins were crappy. You know, it's not a good argument.
You said that before, though.
When?
You said that they suck. You said that.
Who? The Dolphins stink. I know.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying I wouldn't discredit your offense. I'd say they stink, but I wouldn't discredit.
No, I'm just saying I want to see it against a legit team. That's all I'm saying because the Giants.
If you look at it, that's a top 5 defense last year.
Last year, we're talking about this year though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying like it still has some pieces. But I know you want to discredit the Eagles because the Pats are so high and mighty, which.
What are you talking about? I was prepared to lose this game. I was like, fuck, we're going to lose this game. Juju just went 100 yards.
But why would you want to prepare to lose? That doesn't seem like your normal mindset.
No, okay, so this was my mind. I just described this to Dylan. So on Monday, I was like, there's no way that we lose the Steelers. Then when we get to Sunday, I'm like, there's these injuries are like piling up right now. And I thought like we're still going to win this game, but I thought it would be tough. Like, and it was coming down to the wire, and I was like, I was just like near the end of the game, I was just like, okay, if we lose, you know, I'm prepared to lose, but if we win, great. That's how I was feeling. You know, you don't ever have those moments.
Yeah, I have those moments, but I've always owned up to those moments. I've never heard you say that once, and I think that you're not scared very often. I've always said that the Pats will beat the Steelers every single time, and you're 100% in your confidence about that. It seems like now because of the way you guys won, you're kind of playing like I expected to lose, which seems like a bit of a BS.
No. What during the game? I'm saying that's how I was feeling.
Yeah, because they were getting outplayed. You should.
No,
feel
they
like
weren't
that.
getting outplayed.
I disagree. I think they
very even.
No, I would say that the Steelers. I think the play. Do you guys talk about the play calling?
But then also,
Steelers
I brought
late
up the point. I brought up the point that I just feel like the Steelers played almost the perfect game, and they still lost.
Oh, for sure. No, but I'm just saying. But what I think the big reason was I think the play calling was atrocious in the fourth quarter for the Steelers.
Why?
Because there was a couple times where they didn't run on first down, or they should have play actioned, and then there's one time where when they were running the ball pretty well, like there was a time in that second half they were running the ball, and I think that's an underrated thing that we're going to take forward with this Patriots. Their run defense isn't that great. Again,
I don't think you can win running the ball.
Okay, so yeah, well,
against Tom Brady, you've proven today he only had the ball like 6 times. Okay.
No, I understand that, but I'm just thinking if you have
time of possession, 35 minutes to 24, they still lost.
A team that could run the ball and that has a better defense wins this game.
But I don't think the Steelers won the ball unless they have those players at receiver, which no other team in the league does.
Yeah, maybe.
And by the way, Bell had a less of yards per carry than Lewis did.
But how many? But I'm saying team yards rushing.
Yeah,
I know, but look at the time of the possession. I'm just saying that was a perfect way, like you said, it was a perfect way to play the Patriots and won a couple plays. Screwed it up.
I thought the Patriots' game plan on defense was expertly applied until third down. They couldn't get off the field. They forced 16 third downs, and they couldn't get off the. If they would have got off the field 1 or 2 more times,
so like, are you concerned about your defense moving forward? This is 2 games in a row now.
A tiny bit, but only against teams like the Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of teams.
I could use the same thing. I know, like
then again, AC, this is now going to be played in New England.
Well, it's not over yet. You still got to play the Bills.
Not over yet, but 90%.
Yeah. Well, it just takes. Yeah, I guess 90%. Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, it's funny how everyone's talking how Carson Wentz is the MVP of the team. Let's see how their offense does. And now the first question you ask is, are you scared about the defense? Which is it? What should we be concerned about? Like, it just like seems.
I think it's weird that. Okay, this is my point.
You said offense, and then now the first thing you say is, are you concerned about the defense?
I should make this more clear. My point is that you will not win in the playoffs if your defense does not step up because you have Nick Foles. Nick Foles is not going in the playoffs. Foles is not going to win games 32-29 or whatever the score was.
No, I agree, but I think that this offense is going to still continue to click.
And I'm just asking a question because you're a fan. I did not see the game. I'm just
saying, like, it's just one game, right? Like, you can't get judged on one game. The Eagles are a team that. No, I know, but they came up in the second half. They came up with in the fourth quarter. They came up and Rams couldn't do anything. That's what it matters, right? When it matters, the Eagles have stepped up because the Rams, like, look at the yardage in that fourth quarter against the Rams. Look at the yardage in the fourth quarter against the Rams.
Yeah,
look at the yardage in the fourth quarter against the Giants. That's what it matters. It's a 60-minute game.
Okay, well, I could say the same thing about the Patriots.
Yeah, 100%. The Patriots are the best team in the league. Like, I just hate this narrative. Like it's us against the world when it's not. No one cares. Everyone knows they're the best team. Stop acting like everyone's against you. Like, it's not that.
Well, they were. They said Tom Brady sucked this week. Nick Wright said Tom Brady's finished.
Well, Nick Wright's just a guy, dude. Just be confident in what you think. Nick Wright's a guy. Who cares?
I am confident in what I think.
Well, you said they were going to lose today. You were ready for them to lose.
I said I was prepared to lose. That's different. I said we'll still win. There is a chance that we'll lose.
Yeah. But that's just normally not what you say.
Is that not okay? I don't understand this.
No. It's just funny because normally, like, super confident in a game where I feel like you feel bad that you got the win, so you're saying.
I feel like the Steelers could have easily won that game. It could have went either way, for sure.
I just think that
I thought at that moment it was a touchdown. I was like, okay, good game.
Steelers should have been. I'm just saying Steelers should have been.
Am I right? I shook his hand. I said, good game. You won.
Yeah, good game for those guys playing. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. The Patriots, because of that whole play, it changes the whole AFC playoff picture. And the Pats, again, like you said at the beginning of the season, it's Super Bowl or bust, and anything less than a Super Bowl for the Patriots is a loss, is a big deal.
Why wouldn't it be?
No, I'm just saying for other teams, it's not. Like the Eagles lose a game, it's not that big of a deal because we lost our quarterback. Now with the Patriots, if they don't win a Super Bowl, huge failure, and more people will be talking about the Patriots not winning the Super Bowl than whoever wins the Super Bowl.
I don't have a problem with that. It should be every season the Patriots should win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess maybe. They sure deserve it. I'm just saying that it's just funny that just like Pats fans, man, like they're psychotic sometimes.
What are you trying to say? I'm confused.
I'm just saying Pats fans, like they love the hate. Like you tweeted something about some fucking guy that's like sitting up. Like I'm thinking because about all the people that hate me right now.
We've had comments in this chat. Everybody hates the Patriots. Everybody hates the best team. Everybody hates the best team. The Patriots have been the best team for 17 years. Everybody hates the top dog. Everybody wants to see them fall. Okay? The thing is, everybody will blame the refs for the reason why the Patriots won the game. And that's what happened in this comment. Dylan can back me up on that.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, no, we'll see what happens. I'm going all in against the Patriots because I think that was pretty messed up. And they made it. Someone on the Patriots.
Do you think that should have been a touchdown?
No, not by the rule. No.
Okay, well that's the rule then.
Well, I know. I'm not saying that's what I'm talking about.
I thought it was a touchdown. I've said that like 4 times.
I'm right. I haven't even mentioned that play once. I don't think that was the big reason why. I thought.
Okay, well, what happened?
The dropped interception.
That was a
Steelers
because he was running to the right and then he.
No, I know. I've made catches like that before. You can make those catches.
Okay.
I played football. I played football for 8 years.
The Patriots had human mistake too.
Well, I know I'm saying the drop. I think even before the drop, before Patriots got the ball back, Pittsburgh was not aggressive in play calling, which really drove me nuts. They had a chance to put the ball away, and they were able to throw the ball. I think they were able to throw the ball pretty consistently. A couple, like they ran that one time when everyone knew they were going to run. It puts them in tough position.
They threw the ball down. They didn't get it.
Yeah, by 1 yard, which is like you don't run a route early on like that. You know what I mean? Like, and the guy had good coverage that you run it to. I know, but most times on third down you run it to the sticks, right? That's how you play.
They ran those routes all game. They were usually getting the first down. Because the guy would make a miss or he would just outrun him.
Yeah. Well, I just think that it just stinks because it feels like for a lot of people, like the season just ended and we just handed the Pats.
Why?
The Pats are winning the Super Bowl. No, because they are the better team, and we know that was the chance to spice.
So are you just sour or what?
I think I'm a bit sour because this was a chance for the NFL to get spiced up a bit. Dylan, do you agree?
Okay.
I'm just sitting back enjoying the info.
Well, no, you can talk too, dude, because I know you were all about the Patriots like you always are when you two are just
right,
solo. Huh? No, I switched to Steelers. I know when you two are on this show, you guys just agree with each other.
He picked the Steelers, Dylan?
No, I picked the Patriots. You're talking about him.
I picked the Steelers.
He picked the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
I switched.
I thought you picked the Patriots.
No, I did early, and
what I judge my picks off, and
that's why you're sour.
I'm not saying picks. No, I'm not sour for the picks, dude. I'm up like 10 on you.
No, that's why you're sour. Because you thought the Steelers would win again, like the AFC Championship game.
Well, no, I am sour because I think this was for people that don't cheer for the Pats and just watch the NFL. I think
you're also a Steelers fan, though. I'd like to point that out.
Maybe a bit, but I'm just saying I think this would have been better for the NFL if the Steelers won this game. It would have been a lot better for the Steelers to win this game
But in the end of the day, it's not good. All this does is they're both number one.
All this does, they're just going to play again. If the Steelers are good and the Patriots are good, they'll play again. The only reason for a Steelers fan to be very concerned about this game is just to say, oh, we're going to lose to the Jaguars. It's the only reason.
No, I know. It's just like it just stinks. I don't know. I think a lot of people are in the same boat as me. Like I just think that
it's a regular season game. It doesn't really.
We want to see a shakeup, though. We want to see a shakeup. Like I think a lot of people just
happens in the playoffs.
No, but I think this would have kind of shakes things up because then Pittsburgh goes on and has the 1 seed. I think it would have been more interesting. I'm sorry, as an NFL fan, it would have been more interesting to see a different team with the number 1 seed.
So that
I don't know but I understand your point, but I don't know how much of a shakeup that could cause because the Patriots would go 1 game under the Steelers.
I know, but then they have to play the Jags. Like what? It's going to be a team that's maybe a 6-loss team. You know what I mean? A 6-7 loss team that they have to play.
You talking about
changes the dynamics. Like no one wants to see the Jags right now, right? And now it's going to be Pittsburgh. Whoever's going to go into New England, it's going to be a subpar team. They're going to go through that.
I just don't know why you got something on me because I agree with Mitch.
No, because when you guys are together, there's not a lot of arguing, and that's what I bring to the table. That I don't care.
I don't think there's much to argue about. I don't
know. Dylan can back me up. I was very even in the discussion after this game because I didn't say anything negatively towards the Steelers at all. I didn't say anything. I don't get it.
I get there's debate, but I just analyze what I see on the field.
I just thought it was a really well played game. It was this was probably the best football game of this year in terms of minimal mistakes, very well played, good coaching, good football, good plays all around, and just at the end there was a big play made, and Big Ben made a mistake.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think I'm getting some love in the comments.
And I think
for an average NFL fan, they don't want to see the thing.
Yeah,
the same
exactly. And you're being
over and over.
And I'm talking about on Twitter. You're being the person that doesn't want to see the top dog win. That's exactly what that guy was tweeting about, and you're the exact person that we're talking about.
But why would you care what I think? Why are you just sipping a beer thinking getting your kicks off people that hate you? That's bizarre. That's called a sociopath, dude.
People hate the Patriots the way they do.
Dude, I got nothing against the team. I think that they can be beat, and I think that some things happen, and I think the fan base is the most arrogant fan base in football with the Seahawks. That kind of makes me go the wrong way. Come on.
I'm not arrogant. I just call it how it is.
Well, how you see it, dude. Come on.
How many times have I been wrong about the Patriots?
I know, but you were kind of wrong here. You thought they were gonna you thought everything you said in this game didn't really happen how you said it. So you were kind of wrong. It just went a different way. You thought the running backs were going to be key. You thought they were going to be able to stop Bell, which they didn't.
They stopped Bell good enough.
I would disagree with that. He had over 100 yards. He had over 100 yards from the line of scrimmage.
He had the ball 30 times.
Yeah, but he was putting up yards. Look at the time possession. That was because of Bell.
I'll say it again. The biggest thing for the Steelers, the reason why the Patriots played the way that I thought that they would play, because I don't think the Patriots defense is really that great. I just think that they play bend but don't break. And the Steelers, like I said, if the Steelers are going to win this game, they need to convert on those third downs. And they did. And that's the reason why they could look at the third down conversions. They converted 10 of 16 times. If the Patriots would stop them a couple more times, then the Patriots, you would have been looking at this defense like, oh my God, they played great, right? They forced them into the situations that they wanted to force them in. The Steelers just made great plays in those times.
Well, so you're saying that you thought the Patriots defense played well.
No, I didn't. I thought that they made a couple plays in the game that ultimately won them the game, but they didn't play great. Because of third down. If they would have played exactly the same, but forced 3 more third down punts, the Patriots would have won this game by 14 points.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. It's the Patriots. This is the exact way I thought the game would go. If the Steelers, in terms of their offense versus our defense, but like if the Steelers were going to win this game, they did what they needed to do to win this game. They just made a couple of mistakes.
No, I guess technically they find a way to win, and they did. I just for the average NFL fan, I think we're just all tired of it. We're all tired of it.
Don't know how that's not an example of hate, but okay.
That's not hate, dude. It's sports. I don't really hate anything in sports. Like I hate really.
So are you tired of LeBron being in the finals every year?
Is it jealous?
No, because I don't really care. No. It's not jealousy, man. Fuck. I'm pretty confident in myself that it's not jealousy. No, it's just like you want to see other teams succeed, and like when you have games like this, and it's just like when it was a chance for David to beat Goliath in the sense. I know Pittsburgh was a good team, but it was
only because it was the Steelers. Because I feel like you really like the Steelers, so you want.
Well, I like the Steelers because I feel like people don't give them enough credit.
Because they
and like especially on this show. For a long time, like even when they had bad games, we're ready to just cut their heads off.
All the credit they've gotten to the AFC Championship and the AFC divisional game. They've disappointed every time.
Yeah.
How much more credit do you want us to give them? I mean, like they're supposed to win a Super Bowl with these players on their team.
Yeah, I guess I just enjoy, like, I don't really think championships. Yeah, but at the end of the day, like we're not playing. It's like. It's not live or die by championship. We just want to see good storylines and good football. And I think the Patriots storyline's not a good one anymore.
But why do the Steelers deserve more credit than they get? They get a lot of credit.
I don't think they've been getting a lot of credit, especially on this channel. Every time they've had a close, this is a problem. Even when and then my take, no, I'm just saying you guys can say it's a problem. My take is like, but they're finding ways to win close games. Obviously today wasn't one of those.
Game. What about their past though?
What about their past?
I'm just saying that the things that have happened this season with the Steelers have indicated the same things that are happening. I'm just looking at the flaws in the team. The same issues that happened this year have happened in the past when they have disappointed. They're losing to teams that they shouldn't lose to. They're in really close games against bad teams. They're not blowing teams out. They're still playing the same defense. Like things, and I'll give them credit. They tried to change today and play a different defense.
Yeah, no, it was great. I'm just saying that, like, at the end of the day, to me, sometimes it's not about X's and O's, and it's just about, I guess, the good of the average NFL fan, not someone that I guess looks at the game like you do. I can look at the game from an X's and O's standpoint, but just sometimes I like to put myself in the shoes of just someone that's watching the game year after year and just seeing the same thing. And we just want to see a bit more parity. We want to see more teams succeed.
Why didn't I cheer for my team? What?
No, you do cheer for your team. That's fine. I'm trying to give you the perspective of the average NFL fan, because I think I'm more inclined to speak to those type of people and those people would listen to me more so than
you can want that, and I understand that. But if you're gonna do it, it has to happen. It has to happen on the field. Somebody's got to beat the team. I mean, if the Steelers,
sure. Why is it the Patriots' fault? What?
Well, no, it's not the Patriots' fault. I'm just speaking, like, whatever. Take it what you want. Like, laugh, do whatever. I'm just saying that it'd be better for the NFL if the Patriots lost right at this point, especially in the season.
You won 3 and 4 in the early 2000s. They didn't win a Super Bowl until 2014, and now they've won 2 in 3 years.
We'll see. I'm going
10 years. There was 10 years for teams to get.
Or Pat's hater for the rest of the year. It's on. I'm going hardcore Pats hater.
That's fine. I don't care.
No. Now I'm going full blown Pats hater rest of the year.
I just don't get why, like, you make it sound like I can't cheer for my team because they win all the time.
Like you, man, you can cheer for your team. You shouldn't even care what I think. I'm not saying directly to you. I'm saying in general. I've never said anything. Like, I'm not saying that to you, man. Like, and why would you care what I think? It seems like that's the thing. It's like, why are you trying to make this like me versus you thing when I'm just speaking my facts and you're taking defense to everything I say? When don't agree with me, I could care less. I'm speaking. I could, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. You can say whatever you want, but just don't worry about it.
I just think it's. I just think it's. I don't know what the word is. I just think it's. I guess I think it's funny in a way.
Yeah, like maybe, man.
Okay, Dylan,
we're going down. Well, I am putting a jinx on the Patriots right now. I'm putting a jinx on the Patriots. From this moment forward, the Patriots will not win another Super Bowl. Jinxed.
Ooh,
Pats.
So I don't know if that's good. Dylan.
No, I've never jinxed the team or a team. I'm using my powers right now. I am jinxing the Patriots.
I don't think it's clear cut at all that the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. I think this is worse than the last year's team. This is worse than 2014. This is arguably even worse than 2015. We just had injuries that year. If the Patriots had Edelman, yeah, I would say this team going to win the Super Bowl, no doubt. If the Patriots had Hightower, I'd say yeah, Patriots going to win, no doubt. But they don't. So
well, no, I just put a jinx on them, man. I just put a jinx on them. So
okay.
Oh. And the rapper
got the Bray Wyatt thing going on over there. What?
The rapper's name that puts
OB base god. But they put the curse on.
Curse. Okay, yeah. The jinx, curse, whatever you want to call it, putting a curse on the New England Patriots.
Okay, cool.
I think Apple Juice Adam came into effect.
I think he's drunk. I don't know what's wrong with him. Go ahead. Dylan, you were going to say something.
I don't know. I come here to analyze and watch football games. Can
you break it down? Can you put it on Mitch's side and AC? What did we just say there? I don't even know.
I don't know. It was a long 30-minute discussion.
What's Mitch going for? I don't even know.
I don't know what we got out of that. I think there was no purpose for it, but I don't know. We got our analysts. Do we want to talk about the Cowboys-Raiders game? Because that was another game we were supposed to talk about. We've been on here for a while.
Pats. Cursed.
What? Oh, did you leave?
He just left.
He just leaves.
Okay, that was dumb. There was no purpose.
Dumb about it.
There was no purpose to it. I don't understand. Like, and just because I agree with you, it's analysis. It's now.
I don't get his. I'm still confused about his argument.
What do we do here on this channel? Right? We analyze football games.
Yeah.
I get his point that we want another team to, like, there's people out there that want another team to then beat them.
I think he's trying to say that he wants me to pick a different team to win. Even if I don't think that's going to happen.
He thinks that you don't give them enough credit, which if he had watched the stream for the last hour, that wouldn't be true. But whatever. We still
okay, I don't give them enough credit because they beat us like once, ever.
I feel like he was drunk. I'm sorry. I feel like he was.
Hey,
3 minutes felt like he was.
Read the comments, bro.
There's like 7,000. Can we recap a Raiders Cowboys game too? Because we were supposed to.
Just read. Okay. There's a lot of them.
Because there's a lot. Let me fucking scroll up here. Okay. Let me see where AC got in here. Like where the chat started to talk about Mr. AC. People are saying Nick Foles will do fine. Whatever. Bobby's crazy about his Lions prediction. I did say I needed popcorn. I felt that. Killing Boy says AC and Mitch feels tension. There's tension. You see. The rails are coming off. Well, they were also.
For some reason, he always needs to come in here and start an argument with me for no reason.
We were talking about what happened in the Eagles game, and it was, bro, the Patriots.
Yeah, how did I get to that? I was just like, I asked him a question. I was like, what do you think about the Eagles defense? Are you concerned? And then it just got into a rant.
Yeah, Killing Boy says, AC, get off our case from the start.
He's a Pats hater. He put a curse on him, guys.
Ooh, they're losing every game now. Madden curse roll. Let me see here. I'm looking at some other comments. Where's Adam from? Drunklevania.
Yeah.
Dominic says AC has a point. If the Steelers won this game, the Patriots would have had a win in Jacksonville and Pittsburgh to get to the Super Bowl.
But he wasn't saying that. He was saying he wanted that to happen to have a good storyline.
We all want good drama in football, but like I watched the game and be like, whoa, that was a really good day of football. Like today, right?
It was.
I might have had money in the Steelers.
Some of the blowouts in the AM.
Mm-hmm. But the afternoon and night game, like I might have had money in that game, but I was still invested because I want to see good football. That's why if I didn't care about what football is here, I wouldn't be on this channel. Like I'm just here for the entertainment. I don't get paid. Well, I mean, I don't get paid most of the time to fucking watch football games. So I'm here for an entertainment. I obviously cheered for my Cowboys team. Okay, it's a different scenario.
The Cowboys won all these Super Bowls. They wouldn't be allowed. You wouldn't be allowed to cheer for them, though.
Yeah, apparently. But anyway, since I wasn't alive in the last Super Bowl, that's always the argument that comes back to my ass. That's the big
You're the
one.
curse, Dylan. You cursed the
team. I cursed them when I was born 4 years after they were last on the Super Bowl. Oh, spooky. And then he just decides, let's put a Bray Wyatt curse on him. Ooh. Jesus Christ.
What are the comments, bro? You're killing me with this right now.
I gotta scroll back up there again a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Move on to the next game. We'll get there in a second. Predator says AC's argument seems bad. Teams with the best record should make it into the playoffs and have the best seed. Oh, yeah, I think that's not allowed to. If the Patriots get the number 1 seed, they're not allowed to.
No, they have to give it up.
Yeah. Everybody else to decide, not himself.
What? What'd you say?
He said Mitch's arrogance is up for everyone else to decide, not himself. So like when you said, when you said you weren't arrogant, that's apparently somebody else.
About the Patriots, I'm not. I feel personally, my opinion. I don't. Because I don't ever brag about the Patriots winning a game unless it's the Super Bowl. I didn't brag once about winning this game. I don't care. Honestly, it's a regular season game. It's nice that the Patriots won, and I think it helps them. But there's still a chance that New England would go to the Super Bowl nonetheless. So,
I put out to
my opinion. If you think I'm arrogant, that's your opinion. That's cool.
I put in the chat who's winning the argument. Here's some answers. Nick says Mitch. Killing Boy says Mitch and Dilly. I said nothing. Colin said AC, although he is a huge hater of the Patriots, so I don't know how that goes. Killing Boy says AC's losing his socks right now, so that technically goes to you. Yes. Predator says Mitch. AC's arguments make no sense. John
Predator
says
is unbiased too, so I like that one.
Yep. John says Kev. Yes. Go John.
Kev's. I worry about his health.
Well, he did lose his argument about the Seahawks being good.
Oh my God, he got raped today. That's probably why he's not. He thought they were gonna win. He was so confident today. I'm sorry. Kev? You were really confident about that one. You were like, man, they're gonna win, no problem.
No, there's the drama. Okay, Colin says he's hating, or he was joking. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Killing Boy says AC is jealous.
That's what it seems like. Honestly. Or he's just a Steelers fan and won't admit it.
Or he's drinking a little too much apple juice.
Or that.
I go with the combination of 3. It's like the letter choice D, all of the above. What if Joe Hayden had played today?
We don't know.
What if Antonio Brown stayed in the game? What if Julian Edelman was healthy? What if Pittsburgh hadn't left? Let's see. Pats are the Warriors of the NFL. That's what Rob said.
I would say the Warriors or the Pats.
Well, technically the Warriors did it like later. But people laughing about my
arrogant comment from Mitch right there.
I put everybody's laughing about the lamp thing. Bluffing for Rent says this to you. He said, except every team is somehow worse in the AFC, Mitch. They'll have like one hard game to win.
I don't know if that's him saying that or him like trolling and saying that's what people say.
I don't know, but what do you think about it either way?
Okay, so on one way, if he's someone saying, oh, the Patriots only play one team. Okay, first off,
these are NFL complete teams. Like they should be.
Okay, first off, they have the worst record against the AFC East out of anybody. That's the first answer. So they don't just win against their division because their division sucks, because they lose to their division regardless. They just lost to Miami, as AC said. Second, if you're the number 1 seed, you therefore play the worst team in the playoffs. Third, if the team they have to still play the team that makes the AFC Championship. I don't know if anyone knows that, but they have to play the team that makes it there. So they have to beat that team still. I don't know. Like, that's supposed to be the other best team in the AFC. They have to win that game.
And the Patriots have lost that AFC Championship game.
And then if they win that game, they have to play the best team in the NFC and still win that game. But somehow it's easy.
And people think all these teams in the NFL are easy because, they didn't just make a roster. They didn't play, any successful.
What do you think about that argument, Dylan?
It's the dumbest. Not to you. I'm saying to that comment, if it's true, it's the dumbest argument created. Because you're playing NFL talent, right? We're not playing college level ball. Even the Browns, who are the laughing,
have to play the best team. You still have to play them.
You still have to play NFL teams all the way through the season. It's not like you're just getting
but Dylan, this argument would make sense if they went to the AFC Championship every year and lost. But that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. They've lost 2. They've
lost to Peyton.
They lost to Peyton. Didn't they lose to one in the Ravens?
Yeah, in the Ravens. So they've lost 4. They've lost to the Ravens in 2012. They lost to the Broncos in 2015. They lost to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And the Broncos in 2013. So they lost the Broncos twice. They lost the Colts. And they lost the Ravens.
Okay, yeah, the Colts brought Manning. I was like, okay. AC, you've joined back. AC.
Yeah, I was actually asked to. I'm supposed to apologize to you guys for because I guess I was being mean. My girlfriend said so. I came on here to apologize.
Why'd your girlfriend say that?
Because she thought I was. Sometimes she thinks I'm mean to you guys because I'm so loud.
Okay, what do you gotta say, AC? You don't need to.
Yeah, the curse is still on though.
The curse.
On. No, I was just venting a bit because it's tough. It's tough for the average football fan, like I said. Okay. But yes, the Patriots. I do respect the Patriots. What they do. They're great. But it'd just be nice to see someone else.
You just want to see someone else win.
Exactly.
But is it not okay for the Patriots to win if they're the best team?
No, yeah, it's fine. I just in the past they have been in the best team. I just think that season was supposed to, it was just there was a lot of hype going. There was a lot of hype going into the season.
because you're basically saying the Patriots aren't the best team. So just predict they're going to lose, and then you'll be perfectly fine. Because the part with me that is confusing is you're saying the Patriots are the best, but at the same time you're saying you don't like they.
No, I
want to see someone else win, but you're saying that I'll say this: Patriots are going to lose. So then
I'll say this: I have nothing against the Patriots team. I just think their fan base is overly confident, overly arrogant, and I don't think the fans deserve all the winnings when I think there's a lot of better fan bases out there that are more loyal, that have been there through losing season, that deserve. Obviously, that's not how you can't just win championship because of your fan base. But a part of me does believe that the fan base deserves to be taken down a couple notches, but they never are going to.
Everybody hates the Patriots fan base. Everybody hates the Patriots fan base.
No, I understand that, and that's what it equates to it when you're cheering for a team. You don't want the fan base to get the W. It's not really about the team.
I just think that, like, for fans like myself, who I feel I am a diehard fan, you may feel a different way. I don't care. I take offense to it because I'm a diehard fan. I understand there are dickheads and bandwagoners and people that don't really love the team the same way I do. But when you're a diehard fan, if the Eagles were as good as the Patriots were and people kept attacking your fan base over and over and your team over and over, wouldn't you feel the same way to defend your team?
Yeah, but I could never put myself in shoes of something that's never happened. You know what I mean?
The Cowboys have had the suffering for the last fucking 20 years.
Well, exactly. Like, I've been suffering for, 28 years.
Well, it's the fan, like, the most goofed on team has to be the Cowboys. Like, if it's going to be them or the Patriots.
Bro, the Lions.
They haven't won a playoff game in fucking 50 years.
I feel like the Eagles have it pretty bad.
The Eagles have it bad. They're in that conversation. Vikings in the conversation. Browns are just terrible. So, like, I honestly, like, Browns, I feel bad for you fans, but, like, you're so terrible that it almost, like...
Well, and they know they're terrible. That's a good thing about them.
Yeah. You never come close at all. So, like,
it's not like, whoa, they could have... There was, like, one possession games in 8 of the games this year.
Yeah.
You just know.
Or the Chargers fans. That would suck. Bengals fans. That would suck. You know?
That would suck if I was a Bengals fan. Shit. I got a couple more comments here from the chat.
Yeah.
Falcons Saints should be the next week's live reaction show. I don't think we're gonna do one because it's on Christmas Eve, and I think we got plans.
It's early though, right? I could do it if it's at 10 a.m. because I don't do anything on Christmas. This is just me. I don't do anything on Christmas Eve until the night. So I could do it, but that if you guys don't want to do it, then we won't do it.
I don't know. I'd have to look at plans next week.
Okay.
We'll see. Predator says AC's doing the Marcus Mariota apology.
What was that?
Man.
I don't even know what that means actually. I just read it out there.
But maybe he said his mom said it.
Who said that?
No, I think wasn't that the one when his mom told him to apologize?
No, he said AC is doing. Oh, what, the Mariota apology? Are you talking? What are you talking about?
Mariota apology is. What is it?
I don't know what it is either. Somebody explained it in the chat. Bluffing for Rent says there's no teams like Minnesota, New Orleans, Carolina, or tough NFC teams in the AFC except for Baltimore and Pitt. How do you feel about that?
Why are the NFC teams automatically better?
I'd like to point out none of those 3 teams you mentioned made the playoffs last year. So, I mean, they haven't been.
I just like to say that the Patriots only lost to one of those teams, Carolina. They beat Atlanta and the Saints, the teams that they played.
Oh, you didn't say Atlanta. He said Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
But you did beat one of them. I don't know if I find that interesting. And that's it for comments. We still got one more game to recount.
The AFC has been a weaker conference in probably 8 years, 9 years, long time.
It's funny, out of all the playoff teams, because if Seattle doesn't make it, the Eagles will be 2-0 against NFC playoff teams out of five other ones.
Yeah, Minnesota I think has the best record of any of them, but I don't know. They've played everyone, it seems. Vikings played everybody.
Yeah, they played pretty well.
Yeah. Any other comments?
No.
No? Okay. I did see a comment.
What comment did you see?
I saw a couple comments. Okay, I just need to correct Killam Boys. He says, Mitch, you're wrong. We blew out the Colts in 2014. I wasn't talking about 2014. I was talking about 2006. Patriots lost 2006.
Yeah. The year they went to the Super Bowl. Or they won.
Killam Boys, you're younger, so I don't know if you would remember that. So that's why.
Oh, sacks.
Bobby says, thanks, Mitch, on the Lions comment. No problem. Go Lions.
Not making the playoffs, so I'm sorry.
Okay. Recap the Cowboys game, Dilly.
It was a weird game for me to watch personally because I'm looking at this game thinking we got the right matchups to win this game. The Raiders didn't look that great against the Chiefs last week. The Cowboys had a nice win last week. It was all based on the fourth quarter, but I didn't want to bet on it, but I thought there was confidence leaning towards the Cowboys winning. And the first quarter, it looked pretty decent enough. We got a nice drive. We went out there and scored a touchdown. It was 10-0 at half. The Raiders didn't look like they had much confidence and wanted to win this game. And then they started getting something of a spark. Cordell Patterson had that return that didn't go for a touchdown, but they did something. They got something going. They got a Dak Prescott interception that they almost got for a pick six. Thankfully enough, the Cole Beasley stopped it. But they got some momentum. They were able to score. It became an interesting game in the fourth quarter, a pretty fun game that I was getting into, and I was a little bit, scared of because in that situation, you never know. And then the index card. Now, I don't know what this shit is. 3 inches, you don't make it, or third down, you miss it by like half a yard. You go for it, and it's literally so close that they had to put it up in a 90-degree angle all the way up, and then like the index card, which I've never seen that. I'd
like to say this, Dylan. I've never seen that in my entire life watching football. That was amazing.
I've never seen that. Now, I will say, I think it was the worst spotting. I think he made the first down, but like.
Yeah. He did make the first. Well, they did give it to him. I think that the ref was just like, okay, if this spot was off by a little bit, I feel like this spot was maybe off a little bit back than forward, so I'm going to give them the first down. That's basically what the ref said.
The Steratore was
like he didn't even know with the index card. He didn't even know. Like he was still deciding in his head. Like he made the decision who got the.
Because Steratore is like he made a couple of those faces where I'm just like, dude, do you even care about your own job? Okay, but like. I've never seen that. That's one of the craziest things. It's the index card game, whatever. Okay, so they make the first down. They don't go for it later on when they get the second and inches and third and inches. I'm like, you just went for the same thing earlier. Why wouldn't you? It's fourth, and you get the touchdown. The worst the Raiders can do is score a touchdown and go to overtime. So
the Cowboys on that last drive, when they went up by a field goal, is on the 1 yard line. They should have went for that. I know they won 2017, but they could have lost. They easily could have lost, and I think they should have went for it 100% because if they wouldn't have got it, then the Raiders would have been on their inch line, and they would have had to travel like 99 yards with your D line who was getting pressure, and Carr couldn't really throw the ball. You had a chance for safety too. So I don't get that call to go for the field goal instead of try and punch it in.
I didn't get it either. I was upset with it. They got one really good receiver in Crabtree, but if you stop that.
And they didn't double him at all. And the one pass interference is just like he was the only guy that was getting open. They didn't adjust at all.
I knew Amari Cooper, so I was like, this is a game where we should be stopping them. Anyways, we made the field goal. It's 20-17. I'm looking at I'm scared though because I've seen the Cowboys do this more than often than not where we have a little bit of hope left. I saw it in the Packers game especially where it was just like we had a little bit of an advantage and then we blew it at the last second. Anthony Brown dropped an interception. I'm like, that's the play. I'm still hoping for this opportunity, but that is a play that could be haunting us down the stretch. They made a couple of good plays. They get all the way to the 8-yard line. Now I'm thinking, we really got to make a stop here. Like, this is crucial because at least we're going into overtime. There's a little bit of a chance. And then Carter goes to the outside, makes a play, and Heath, who I've never seen have that speed before, and I will probably never see have that speed again, makes a play to push Carr's arm to where he releases the football into the end zone. A wild finish. Obviously I wouldn't have expected it that way. It goes in the end zone for a touchback. It was very lucky, but in the NFL, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. As a Cowboys fan, I breathe a sigh of relief. Now it takes us to 8-6, a little bit more favorable position with the Packers losing today. Now it needs to happen for the Cowboys to win the next 2 games, which are going to be difficult. It's the Seahawks and the Eagles. But the Seahawks just lost themselves a little bit of they've got their confidence down because of that game. And the Eagles, week 17, maybe they're resting the players. Who knows? And then you got the Lions losing once. I think they can lose to the Packers. The next 2 or 3 for the Falcons, it's going to be the hardest one to have happen to us. But they play the Panthers and the Saints, so maybe that's not favorable for them.
They'll probably lose one of those games.
I'm hoping for both. You would think we might probably lose one, but you'll have to see. We'll have to see on the other. But it was a wild game.
That was a tough game for you guys. I thought it was going to be a much easier victory.
I'm all tuckered out because I didn't watch the game, but from what I saw, you're lucky I'm tired out because this could have been. If we started talking about this game first, I would have tired myself out talking about Dak Prescott in a more of a negative way.
I think he played pretty good.
I don't know. Some of the picks were a little iffy though. Just watching the replays.
Well, one of them he's getting pressured and he just throws up a really bad pass. That's something I'm gonna, I don't want to happen, but I'm gonna live with. That other interception, it was pretty bad, but
yeah,
I think Dak played.
I think Dak played pretty good.
Yeah.
Besides, yeah, not great. Carr didn't play good. The Raider, I'm watching that game. I thought the Cowboys were gonna have a much easier time winning that game. That was not a good performance for the Cowboys. That was.
In the first half, I'm thinking this game's going to be like it looked close in the first half, but I felt like the Cowboys just had control.
I feel like there was missed opportunities for both teams. I just felt like it looked like 2 bad teams playing each other. Like both teams wanted to lose the game. It felt like
the Raiders especially just didn't have that drive, and then I think the Cowboys just, I don't know, they made one more.
Like I want to see how this team looks next week with Zeke. Like if they look totally different, then
that's a positive for me because I think Zeke is. I don't want to be that kind of guy. I'm always hopeful of what the Cowboys do, but I think Zeke's going to have a day against the Seahawks. I don't know.
I hope so. I want the Cowboys to make the playoffs now, just for the pure excitement of the Cowboys, just the Cowboys in general.
It would be hype. Who would be the 3rd seed? They would be the either the Rams or the Saints.
Yeah, that would be tough, but
it would be tough, but. It'd be a fun game.
Never know.
I don't know. Heath made a really great play, which is probably the only time I'll say that all season.
Dez played a good game.
Who did?
Dez.
He caught 2 passes, but yeah, I guess he played.
Well, there were 2 very critical passes.
Yes, true. He made the clutch catches when necessary.
You guys didn't run Morris a lot. What's up with that?
That surprised me because, and early on in the game, the first quarter, he was looking great. He got like 50-something rushing yards in the first 2 drives. I was like, you keep doing what you're doing, but they kind of abandoned that play.
I did like the coaching adjustment to have Witten like start to help Bell out because they had Bell out there because Smith got hurt again.
Yeah, so that was. I think he'll be healthy. Zeke will be back. Irvin will be back. Skandrick will be back next week. So those are big things for us. That was a nice adjustment, though, because Bell – look, it's a backup line left tackle, which I get is hard to have that, to replace that so quickly in the game, too. But, man, Bell is just the worst.
Do you think that they should run more like designed runs for Dak? Actual run plays.
Well, because he's been effective with it. He obviously knows how to run the football. Yeah, he's obviously been we've seen a lot more of
with your passing offense. It hasn't been very good. So,
yeah, I think they need to shape. I mean, this has always been a critical thing I've had of the season. I think they need to be a little bit more experimental in the play calling. I think they need to give something a little bit more pizzazz, if you will, which I'll give them credit. 2 plays in a row, they went for a fake punt on 4th and 11, which definitely helped us. That was crazy considering that we were on the Oakland 20-yard line. And then Chris Jones runs it for, 27 yards? And then the next play, we put a flea flicker, and Terrence Williams almost catches that football. It didn't succeed, but it was
Williams stinks, bro.
I know, but
where's Bryce Butler? Even Emmitt Smith tweeted, "Where's Bryce Butler?"
No, he was hurt today. He was inactive.
Oh,
so today is excusable. But if he comes back next week, I'd like to see him also.
Why doesn't Switzer play?
Because I don't think they know what he is. I don't think they know what he's.
He doesn't play receiver.
Hmm?
He doesn't play receiver. He's just a returner.
Well, I think that's what they think he is. Because at North Carolina, he played at receiver, but he wasn't like.
Yeah, the number 1 target was Mac Hollins, man.
Mac Hollins,
yeah, that's the one. You gotta take what it is. I obviously wanted this game to be a lot more of a pounding, but
this week went just as the Cowboys planned it. Seahawks lost, Packers lost, Cowboys won.
That's that. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better week if you were a Cowboys.
Lions could have lost, but that's about it.
The only thing I would say is I just would be scared to play the Seahawks after them getting completely embarrassed.
You think so?
I think they're going to play with some sort of edge. I know there's a lot going on, but you've always just got to watch out. The Seahawks aren't done until they're completely done, in my opinion. It stinks because I'm not a fan of them, but they're not done. Like, we've seen it. They're not done until they say they've done, because we've seen them have stinker games and then play pretty solid.
I thought you were saying in the Twitter chat this is a loss that takes a team back 10 years.
Yeah, you said 10 years it's going to take for this team.
Yeah, but now they're playing the Cowboys, and you guys are wanting Cowboys to make the playoffs, and I'm not down for that.
2 people out of 7.8 billion isn't going to affect what the Seahawks do out there.
I'm not down for Cowboys to make the playoffs. Now that's
just because if the Cowboys win the first round and then they upset the Eagles.
Because you're the Eagles, and that's who we,
Yeah, well, let's just say I don't care because we'll be waiting because we got that first round bye. So you guys play that extra game, and we'll see you whenever we see you.
The Cowboys didn't benefit from not playing a game last season.
I just really need to see how Zeke play. I just really want to see how this team plays with Zeke, and then I'll make up my mind on the Cowboys, because I thought they snuck away with a victory here against a team that they should have beat more handily than they did.
But I think a confidence booster for me is how the Seahawks played today. Like, they just
that's true.
So
and it's in Dallas too.
And Gurley's that running back that scored 4 touchdowns on them, and Zeke's pretty damn good. So I don't know.
I think, like, even what happened today, their chance of making the playoffs went up from probably 5 to 20.
Yeah,
which is good, but still.
Packers are out.
It's still.
I would never put any money on something that I had a 20% chance of winning.
No, and that's why I'm not putting money on it.
I just want it to happen.
I'm optimistic because I'm happy that they're actually, they're winning games that they need to win. Obviously, they got to win out, but some things are happening for this team, so you never know.
They led the Eagles at they led the Eagles at halftime.
Atlanta needs
that was impressive.
2 games, right?
Atlanta's got to lose 2 of 3. That's the hardest one.
Okay. Yeah,
but
they'll probably only lose 1.
And who's the third game? Because if the third game is either someone might be resting the Saints, if it's
the Saints,
their last games against the Panthers.
I think so. No.
Yeah. So okay, then they'll be playing tough.
Let's see the Falcons' schedule.
It won't really matter for the Panthers, really, unless they lose, outside of like 5th or 6th seed, I think.
Yeah, the Falcons are playing the Saints next week at home, or Saints home, and then the Panthers are week 17. So,
yeah,
you never know. I mean, we'll see.
No worries. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's the upset, baby. Let's go. I mean, I'm gonna cheer for them. I don't think that'll happen.
All right. Any final thoughts, and then comments. AC, Dilly, we'll leave.
Good stuff.
Is on, and the Eagles are just continuing to win games, but like I said, and the other day, playing with house money. So, as a big gambler, it's always nice to be playing with money that you've already won, and anything you lose.
That's
not
money.
Yeah, playing with house money.
We were thinking about T-shirt ideas, so that's the one I got to put on the.
Yeah, exactly.
What's Kev's?
Kev's is the ones that he the losses that he has this season.
Oh yeah.
No, his.
Okay,
or
his.
His.
Look at this shirt, Ace.
Just say that says, "Can I talk?"
That's a good one.
Okay, this is the shirt I made up for Kev. It's like concert shirts on the back where it says like the dates and the city.
Yeah.
Instead, it's every week that Kev made a terrible pick.
Terrible.
And it's just like week 1, Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's the shirt.
It's week 15, Seahawks.
Yeah, Kevin's horrible pick tour with the dates and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That wasn't even his worst pick. His worst one was the Bears against the Lions. I'm sorry. That was probably his worst one this week. This week, yeah.
Yeah. No, but you should have saw him in the pregame, AC. He was so confident they were going to beat the Rams today.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like, wow. No chance in hell the Rams
just
no, he didn't say no chance.
No, but that's the way he came across, didn't he?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that's thinking this?
He was super confident. He's like, I think there's a chance that they're
like, I'll take Russell Wilson as Jared Goff every time.
Well, to be fair.
Yeah. Most people were like, but Gurley against
any running game? Yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
I think if you had to choose, if you could take Goff and Gurley or just Wilson, who would you take?
Do I get McVay?
No, I'm just saying, but you don't have a running game. You just have a quarterback. The other one, you'd have a quarterback and a running back.
I'd take Wilson.
Unfortunately, I would still take Wilson, but it's just because I don't know.
Because it depends on the offensive line and the receivers and the offensive coordinator.
I'm saying, but then you couldn't pick up a running back, and you literally had zero. You won't have a running game besides Wilson.
Oh, that's tough, but if Wilson was on the Rams and Gurley was on the Seahawks and Jared Goff was on the Seahawks, I think the Rams would be taken even more seriously than they are.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I feel. I don't know. With McVay and stuff.
And I went 12-3 against the spread every single game this week so far.
Nice.
So I need
all right. Any final comment? Billy, in the comment section.
This has been the longest video ever created. Let me find. Let me go back to the comments here. Rob says
the NHL says Rob. I like that one.
Has anybody seen The Last Jedi? No, I don't watch.
Tuesday, I'm watching it.
I got the Star Wars movies recorded.
Did you just say you went?
Huh? Yeah, I know, but it was sold out, so I went to a bar instead.
Oh, that sucks. Let's see. Try to find some good ones.
But I will say, I might have to put a retirement thing on. If Pats win another Super Bowl, I will retire from the Bottom Line View, wrestling style.
It's old.
No joke. So tempted.
But
it would be interesting. That would be hype.
Lions haven't won a playoff game once. Only chance they had is when A-Rod is hurt. I mean,
they had that chance against the Cowboys.
They did. They were close.
Nobody talks about that. They only talk about the Dez catch, not the freaking game where the Lions should have beat the Cowboys.
Hey, no, the Cowboys won though. You can't say they always lose.
Oh, okay.
Jakara says Roger will get slayed by Slay.
Go Slay.
Panthers defense is we should be giving them credit. I mean, I like Darius Slay is very good, but he cannot carry that whole defense. That's just I don't know. Lions haven't won a playoff game since 1991. Did they?
Barry Sanders.
Did they win?
It was against the Cowboys, actually.
Really?
I think so.
I thought they didn't. Huh.
They beat them in the playoffs. I don't know if that was the last one that happened, but that was definitely happened with Barry Sanders.
But I didn't know they won it. That was the only playoff win for Barry Sanders. Just think about how sad that is.
We have one. He might have only had one.
I'd have to look at that up.
Well, they were really bad. So,
Fact or fiction? Darius Slay is a top 5 cornerback.
At least top 10.
Yeah, he has a discussion for it, I would say.
I feel like he had a lot better year. What, last year or the year before?
Last year? No, I think he's had a good year this year. He had a good year last year, but
he had a really good year last year.
Yeah, last win was in 1992. They beat the Dallas Cowboys 38-6.
Okay. All right. 1992 playoffs is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. How about a T-shirt for Green Bay run into a garbage?
And their other win before that, can you guess the year?
I'm gonna go 1979.
1957.
Holy shit! Had one playoff win in the Super Bowl era.
Yes.
Holy shit! I pray for those fans. Oh my god.
They deserve it.
Yeah, ACC.
Super Bowl, please, for our sake.
They deserve it.
That means they haven't even gone to an NFC Championship game since they've been in the.
No.
Oh my god.
Eagles fans think they have it bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it is tough getting pretty close and losing rather than not being there at all.
Because you're just swallowed in misery when you don't go there at all. Rob said,
I know, but it's tough when you get your hope.
Your point, like I'm saying, like you're just like, I'm just gonna be like, oh, we made it to the playoffs. Congratulations, we did something, you know. Rob says Kev should stick to NHL.
I said
after those picks, yeah, I agree. Let's see if there's any more. And Rob says, I was 7 the last time the Lions won a playoff game. Well, nice. We need to find out Kev's age for that too. But yeah, that's it. That is it for comments.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in here to the Week 15 recap. Long one, but there was so much to discuss. And AC kind of, did whatever AC does.
I was playing devil's advocate. We always need someone. We can't all agree with each other. And sometimes if I have to look like an idiot to do so, I'll take it, because at the end of the day, this is an entertainment show with some football sprinkled in.
And the Patriots have been
they have been cursed. Ooh, I think Dylan's on board too.
I think he is. Well,
we're all doing it.
All right.
That's why.
AC, Dilly Vanilli. Go Pats. Fuck the Eagles. Peace out.
Boys.